welcome to another episode of The Flank. I'm joined by the one and only, the human turret, one of the best ARs to ever do it. Give it up for the world champ himself, Sam LaRue, Octane. I'm also joined by some of the best analysis in the game, the world champ, Christopher Duarte, Parasite. I got the one and only, the multi-world champion, the multi-champion, a legend, an icon to the Call of Duty scene. Give it up for Patrick Price, a.k.a. Eggs. And then, of course, on my left here, we got the one and only, the executive producer, Mr. Benjay Nassim. Gentlemen, how we feeling, man? Pat, welcome back. We missed you yesterday. I know you got no webcam. I know you're in the middle of a move right now. How you feeling after the move? Are you doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing good, Tom. I got into Dallas Wednesday morning. Yeah, I mean, Tom, it looks like Optic's still feeling the aura of my arrival, but man, it's good to be back in Dallas, Tom, and I'm excited to get it all set up, have everything official. But I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I know you're
Pat.
not probably doing as well because you got Ben in your house, but I
Yeah,
wish you the best, Tom.
It's been rough over here, Pat. I'm not gonna lie, man. It's been rough. I'm pushing through. I only got a couple more days left, and we're good to go. You know what I mean? But
I hear you.
I'm rounding second right now, Slay. I'm rounding second.
I hear you. I hear you.
Sam, how you doing, Sam? You doing all right?
I'm good, bro. It was a long day at COD today. Excited to break it down, but it was a long day for our series.
It was a long day. It was a very long day at COD. We're gonna break it down. We had 5 series today. Duarte, you doing all right, brother? Everything okay over there?
Yeah, I'm doing good. My boys on LAG qualified for champs, so congratulations to them. I know everybody fucking prayed on their downfall, and some people just basically didn't believe they could do it.
Myself included at points.
Myself included at points. So, congrats to them, obviously. And then also, listen, at the expense of the green wall, I'm sorry, but we're going to have a completely new top 4. We haven't had that since Major 1 with New York Subliners being upset. And now we obviously have Optic being sent home early. So that 4th spot is at the very least up for grabs when it comes down to it, with the other top 4 teams, still being in.
Yep, no, 100%. I mean, this is coming down to the wire now, right? Like, this is the last opportunity for people to get points and get themselves into champs. So there's just a lot going on. Benjay, how you doing? You doing all right, Benjay?
Yeah, I don't know what Chris is talking about with the top 4. I think it's just the top 3 now. But yeah, I had a good day. We did coffee and COD this morning. We loved some interesting prize picks. Unfortunately, they missed by a cross-map nade, so that is really tragic because that could have been a rack right there. I went to the venue, shot some content, talked to a bunch of people, talked to the LAG boys as well.
You didn't shoot no content. What content did you shoot over here?
For ATL, bro. Shot some good content for ATL. That'll come out eventually. I bought a putter mat too. We got that now, but I fear the putter is a little bit too small. We'll see that. And yeah, it was a great day. Five matches, and I think we gotta have some harsh truths today on the show.
Can you work on these ads, Ben?
Yeah,
Maybe get an ad blocker or something. They're popping up everywhere on this Breaking Point right now.
I got you.
Yeah, guys, definitely a long day. We're gonna get right into it and talk about these matches. We just got a lot of ads popping up right now on Breaking. Did they add all these ads on Breaking Point now?
No, it's got refresh.
They just keep popping up. But yeah, we can hop into it. Let's hop into the first series of the day. Ben, you can switch us over whenever you're ready, but we had the Toronto Ultra going up against the Carolina Royal Ravens, and this one wasn't pretty, man. This one ended in a 3-0 fashion. First map, Karachi Hardpoint was a 100-point lead or a 100-point win for Toronto. Around 11 in the S&D, that was a close one, and then a control that went down into an overtime. So definitely a lot going on here. Sam, we'll start with you. What did you think about the series today with Toronto and Carolina? I know that you thought maybe Carolina might have trolled a little bit today.
Yeah, there were definitely some winnable moments from Carolina today, but it was more, I think, today about Toronto. We definitely did not expect them to lose to LAG yesterday, so I think based on Scrap's interview afterwards, they kind of know that they just played like shit, for lack of a better phrase. So it was more of a Toronto lock-in today, and unfortunately, again, for Carolina, they pretty much every worst-case scenario unfolded for their champs qualifications with other teams. So it's a bummer to not see them competing not next weekend, but next tournament. But yeah, I think Toronto just kind of locked in and beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch over screens. Just ignore the ads. Sorry about the ads. I don't know why I'm Breaking Point. Usually I can just X them out, but today it's not letting me do that. So sorry about the ads at the bottom of the screen. But yeah, definitely a long series. I thought Toronto looked good. Obviously, just taking a look at the stat sheet here. Scrap, again, just a 1.32, 13,000 damage. He was unreal through 3 maps. He had 66 kills. Great series from him. On the other side, I thought Gwen was shooting today. Tyler Fellows showed up, but ultimately they fell short. Pat, I want to go to you. Toronto, right? These are guys that you had winning the whole or you had them winning champs, right? You got them winning the whole thing. You think very highly of these guys, and they find themselves in losers bracket here early. Pat, what did you think about the win today against Carolina? What did you think about yesterday when they lost, Pat? Like, give me your thoughts on these guys right now.
Yeah. I still got them winning both events, Tom. I got them coming back to losers, winning this and winning champs. Obviously, it was an unfortunate loss. I think Chris cooked him yesterday. Envoy didn't play well. But I mean, it's the first match at an event with no fans. It's a little bit different of a setup. I personally, Tom, not too worried about their loss. Coming into this one though, handled business clear as day. TJ had a stinker. I will say I saw TJ's tweet was like, "Man, sucks not being a champs," and then Scrappy replied like, "That's on me." No bullshit. That might be the worst thing to hear. If you're like pissed about
I
not
would lose
qualifying
full.
for
I
champs,
would lose
and then the
composure.
two tweet
I would
shoot,
lose
that's on me.
composure, bro.
They're also really close friends, but
No, I
like,
know,
even
I
then,
know.
I'd be still pissed.
I'd be tight, bro. But not yet. I mean, they looked a lot better today. I hope they carry this momentum over to tomorrow as well.
Yeah, and then the clip today with Scrappy and Clay after the match ended when they started chirping each other. Pat, you
He
get
said,
a look
keep
at that.
yourself safe, bro.
Yeah, Clay said, keep yourself safe. That's all he said. You know what I mean? We're not going to pull up the clip. You know what I mean? But he was just showing love to Scrap. That's all it was. Duarte, how you feeling, Duarte? What do you think about the series?
Yeah, man. I mean, I just feel bad for the Ravens. I mean, obviously they just drew a bad hand. You know, they had their road. You know, coming to this tournament. You know, they were looking like they were in a good spot to qualify, but they ended up just kind of on the bad side of the bracket with the struggles that Optic were going through, and then obviously, the upset that Toronto had first day kind of just put the nail in the coffin for them. I wasn't really confident in them beating Toronto. I thought that Toronto game, as much as I love LAG, like I just don't see that ever happening. Like in the course of like a multi-game series, like multiple playthroughs. So I just knew they were going to come back, and they were going to come back with the fire. Like if Scrappy, like when he gets that loss, like he's going to come back and beat the shit out of him. But I just want to more so point out that Jamie Insight, man, I'll say it again. This guy's back this stage. He, as much as they struggled yesterday, I think again that was an anomaly. Jamie Insight has been playing so much better for this Toronto Ultra team. Phoenix obviously has been playing pretty good in the online stages, but I think Jamie just is a super standout for this team. And I feel like if they are going to win champs and even can still win this event, you love to see that out of him, because I was super hypercritical on him just being super low engagement, but now he's like kind of like having series where he's like getting pretty close to scrap numbers sometimes, man. Like,
yeah, he's been challenging. He's been challenging, Chris. He has. I've noticed it too. I've seen a difference as well. And I don't know if that's something we talked about or naturally he's just started doing it, but yeah, I agree. I think Insights looked a lot better, and it just adds a whole nother pace to their roster. Like, if it just once everybody's kind of playing at the same pace, they're going to be a hard team to stop, especially if they're all shooting and they're not missing. But Benji, let's go to you. What did you think of the series, man? Carolina, Toronto. What did you think? Or sorry, Carolina, Toronto. Yeah, what's going on here, Benji?
I mean, we had triple Karachi is all we got, and I thought really that the series ended on that S&D when it seemed like Carolina kind of ran out of ideas in that round 11, and that's really been kind of the story of the season, man, for Carolina. Like, I feel bad that they got a bad draw. I feel for them they went 3-4, and the only team this season to go 3-4 and not make winners bracket. But, I mean, they lost to LAG online. They lost a couple of Game 5s online. They threw a bunch of series away. Last split and the split before. And those 10 and 10 points kind of all add up over time. And so for them to come up short here in their one match they played, it's real tragic for the guys. I guess we'll CME, WC.
Yeah, this is kind of a nice spree here from Insight. He was zapping here. This MCW, man, it shreds now, bro. On LAN, I feel like people are dying so much faster.
Do you see the clip of Sam? I forgot who tweeted it, but there was a clip of Sam on his live stream where he was watching somebody top church on this map, and he's like, "Oh, there's no way he wins," and then he just like cuts himself off.
Yeah,
he got like he got two bulleted top third.
It's all headshots. Like if you're able and listen, these guys are pros, bro. Like if somebody's sitting on a head glitch or something, like they'll be able to pick you off of it with how fast you can kill them. So it's just really good shots from these guys coming into it. And then on the other side, Carolina. Unfortunately for them, man, their year is done. I mean, this is it for Carolina.
Until EWC.
Well, they're done in the season. Like their season's over. Obviously, EWC is a whole other conversation, but which we could talk about. But yeah, this is gonna do it for them. I know there was a lot of talks with Gwyn being MVP not MVP, Rookie of the Year. And I know a lot of people now are saying that maybe that should go to Real after today, like kind of how the year's ending. I don't know how you guys feel about that and kind of what's next for Carolina. I mean, Pat, we'll start with you. What do you think's next for Carolina here?
Sorry, I was muted. I still have it going to Gwen personally, but I mean, I don't know. I really I was
Because they
never
can't
really
change.
high on this
I don't
roster.
think they could. I don't think they could change that.
Are we confident? I mean, Ben, are rosters locked? Like,
I don't
The roster
understand.
lock was prior to this major.
So
But
there's,
I think
Apparently
it's
that
only for the
changed,
orgs,
though.
though, right?
there's some
No, I think it's only
confusion.
for the orgs.
Yeah,
but you can
Alright,
make
well, break
your
it down
roster
for us, Ben.
changes.
There's some confusion. I think it's a little bit unclear if the roster lock was before this event or it's before champs. My guess is I don't think teams are going to make any changes for EWC. So I think this Carolina team looked like going to that event. I mean, they got to deepen. They got to deepen elements of the map pool. And especially in matches like this, they got to close out searches.
I don't think it's
I think they might be locked for. The problem is they might be locked for
No,
WC.
no. I don't think it's a roster lock. I think it's like a team lock. It's
a
like
team
they need
lock,
to
it's not
know.
that, yeah.
They need to know like what organizations, what teams are participating, who's showing up.
Alright,
like
that makes sense. Well, then Tom,
I don't think it's a roster
the way
lock.
the way
to
the
answer your
tweet.
question, Tom, they need to blow it the fuck up, bro.
Oh, Jesus, model. You think they should blow it up, Pat? Which I don't know if they can do. And I think
I
it's
think they
interesting
should
too.
have done it months ago.
Yeah, you've talked about this team throughout the year about how you think they should have made changes. But Sam, what
They've
do you
had
think,
good
Sam?
moments. They're just not good enough.
How do you feel about
I
it,
mean,
Sam?
Like going forward for them? I mean,
Yeah, going forward
you
for
don't-
them. I mean, you have EWC, right? So you still have to practice. You still have to scrim. So it's like, what's next for these guys?
That's what was interesting because like it's not even just a Carolina thing, but like I don't know how people are going to approach teams going forward. Like, are we going to make changes and then go to the event as like our like
I don't know.
trial
I
run?
mean,
Like,
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm gonna put the way the tweet from EWC was written, the way it's been reported, is that it was a roster lock. Unless someone has hard, concrete evidence, otherwise, that is the assumption that like everyone has gotten from the tweet that's been put out. No, like if you go pull it up, that's how it's written. That it says players. So
I don't know, I've heard a bunch of different shit.
Listen, regardless, bro,
Shit could
like there's
change.
no way. Regardless, I don't think this team would even make a change. I think this team just got way better over the course of the last couple of months, and they just didn't really have a lot of like they didn't have easy opportunities to take advantage of that. Like their last stage was like playing it against a bunch of top 4 teams. Granted, they choked. And they could have beat a lot of those top 4 teams and maybe made their road here easier. I feel like this team is better than than where they like end up like in terms of like the not qualifying for champs. Like at least
saying cope for sure.
I don't think
bro,
this team's bad.
Bro, but they squandered. They're not bad, but they squandered opportunities. Whereas LAG
Yeah.
took advantage of opportunities, and that's the margin of error for these teams to qualify for champs.
I don't know if LAG took advantage of opportunities. They threw away like 2 on.
Yeah, but they took an opportunity against
You're
Toronto.
talking about in their match. You're talking about in their matches.
But just,
Okay,
just
never
in
mind. I thought you were
general,
talking
they're
about
just,
like
when they get an opportunity against a team like a favorite team, for example, yesterday that wasn't playing good, they didn't throw that series away. They played clinical and they closed it out and they got a big 30 points. Yeah,
Yeah.
You know, I hear you, but I think it just kind of all adds up over time. It's the same problem that Vegas had last season. We were feeling really good about Vegas, maybe making champs, and they had that terrible fucking event at the Belong in Columbus, and it just went down from there. I feel for Clay and TJ and them, and they now missed a couple of years in a row, but they just got to manage the marathon a little bit better.
Yep, I completely agree. Let's move on. Unless you guys have any other thoughts on the series. I mean, this one's pretty straightforward. Toronto got a pretty comfortable win here. I mean, there were some close maps. I know the control got a little interesting. We thought maybe Carolina could have pushed it, but I think Toronto would have closed it out regardless. They were just too much for them in this lane department.
Yeah.
So it's just, unfortunately for Carolina. I felt bad for Carolina today and Clay. Obviously, Clay is a good friend of mine, right? Used to compete with Clay. So just, it's always hard losing in big moments like this. You put in a lot of work, a lot of energy, and sometimes you just fall flat. So that's going to do it for Carolina for the CDL season. They still have EWC to look forward to. And Toronto will be moving on. We'll get to their next matchup here in just a little bit. But let's move on to the next series of the day. We have the one and only Vegas Legion going up against the Boston Breach. And man, this was another time respecter here. Vegas Legion 3-0, the Boston Breach. Fairly easily here. I mean, they beat them 250 to 203 on a 6-star, a 6-4 in the Rio S&D, and a 3-1 in the high-rise. Vegas just kind of run through them. We could take a look here at the stat sheet. Beans and Major Maniac are the two guys who are in the green here. You got P-Dog with a .64, Snoopy with a .77, These guys just struggled to get kills today. And on the other side, Dylan Attach and Nero both with a 1.4, 1.49 for Nero. I can't say enough good things about Nero, man. This guy every single day, time and time again for these guys, he has been great, man. He has been frying. Some of the stuff that he's been doing, I've been really impressed with his play. And then you got Dylan with a 1.45, Gio with a 1.06, and then old Johnny, he obviously didn't have the best KD, but he kept up in the damage department. He did his thing. Sam, we'll start with you. Vegas going up against Boston. Anything to say, Sam? I mean, Boston are pretty. They're pretty shit. They're pretty shit. Sam.
I'm happy that we don't gotta talk about them anymore for a little while. That's what I'm happy about from this series. I'm done watching Boston play Call of Duty. Thankfully, I think on the Vegas side of things, Nero's been the most underrated player this entire season for me. I think it was him and Teach. The tournament that Nero has had, obviously up to this series and including the next, I've been super impressed by. He's been consistent for these guys the entire year. So I've personally just really happy to see Nero playing well. But yeah, I mean, I don't have shit to say about Boston, brother. I mean, these guys are the worst team in the CDL. I'm tired of watching them play, and now they're done. Thankfully,
6-star S&D was criminal, bro. And I agree with you. I'm glad this shit is over because it's been a journey and not a good one.
Yeah, it's been a journey. Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
Oh, my bad. I don't got a lot to say when it comes down to just Boston, but I still want to go back and circle back to the shit we were talking about yesterday because the absolute faded takes that I was seeing when people were coping about New York and their struggles and their players and who they needed and who they should have kept and all this shit. Bro, Priesta has been fucking terrible this year. Yes, he's on a terrible team. I get it. And I'm sure he's trying his best to play to win. But, like, bro, he used to be a super fucking talented player where I don't care what team you would have put him on, he would have showed out and played well. He has not been doing that the last like 2 years in terms of consistency factor. This series, he just got fucking world starred. And I'm not preying on his downfall or anything. I don't hate the guy. I'm not afraid to point this shit out. As opposed to later when we talk about the New York, who would have thought that Kismet played well, even though Dante's still on his team? Because it's not a player issue. It's not like a personnel issue. It's literally just certain players are good and thriving in certain environments and certain games, and other players are not. And Priesta, he's just had a fucking shit ass year. He played like shit. If he was on New York again, they would have been just as fucking terrible, if not worse. It is what it is.
I think
he got shit on.
I agree with you, Chris. I think Preston, obviously, individually, even though the team obviously struggles with a unit, like he didn't really do himself favors from an individual standpoint. I know I see a lot of people on Reddit being like, everyone in the team's going to go to challengers. I think Preston's going to continue to get opportunities because I think we can all agree from what we've heard, and Tom, I know you've teamed with Preston. Like he's a very good teammate. He works hard. He tries. But individually next year, same thing we said after the Modern Warfare, after the Vanguard season. Like he's got to step it up on his next team and take advantage of that opportunity.
But also, last thing is like when people are pointing out like Preston and stuff like that, and like Preston wasn't playing good even on the original team with like better, quote unquote, better players on his roster, like Slasher, for example. Like he was probably playing some of his worst COD then too. So like again, it's just one of those things where it's like you can sit there and point out any excuse for this guy playing good. Maybe you're just a fan of him, but he just hasn't been good this year. He wasn't good at all this year. Super inconsistent. I think he'll still get opportunities. I think he deserves getting opportunities. But again, like with some other players, I think this next year, if he gets an opportunity, will probably be his last if he does not prove himself. Because it's just been it just keeps happening. You don't think so?
No.
He's all right. That's fine.
Like I said, like Preston is like, yes, individually, like talent wise, gun skill, like some of the decision making he's had this year is really poor. But like, there's a real value in a teammate like that who gets on every day, gives 110%, contributes to those conversations, always going to try hard, always going to show up on time. So teams are going to be willing to take a chance on him. I definitely think he's got probably like a couple more chances.
That's fair. That's fair because Lamar's still competing too. So
go ahead, Pat.
Well, yeah, but that's the problem, bro. Lamar shouldn't be. Neither should Preston if he's playing like this. I think that's the problem with the CDL, bro. I don't give a fuck if someone is getting on and trying hard. If you're getting world starred, you shouldn't be on the team. Like, I don't understand what changed mentality-wise between players where we get into the habit of like, oh, as long as I'm happy getting on and scrimming with the guy every day because he calls out and he doesn't get mad and he has a good attitude, like, who gives a fuck? Like, if you are costing me and you're getting shit on, you shouldn't be on my team. Period. Like,
I hear
I
you,
don't
Pat.
understand when the mentality shift occurred, but that shit needs to
I
go,
don't know if
bro,
it's a
because
mentality
that's the
shift.
reason. That's the reason these bad players have stayed in the league for so long. Simply put.
I don't think it's a mentality shift. I just think like for a lot of these teams that have like cycled through a lot of players in a given year, they pick up a raw sub player from challengers, and they just don't really know how to be a good teammate, how to show up on time. And it's like that's like the basic stuff you can control. I think there's value in what Preston brings, but I hear you. Like again, individually, like he has got to play better, bro. It was the
Who's
same
not showing up on time or being a good teammate?
Oh, there's plenty of people, bro. Plenty of people. We're
No,
not
but
going to name
that's
and
just
shame
like
on this show.
basics, though, bro.
But,
Like,
like,
let's.
I-
That's
I-
basics.
It is basics, but people fuck it up, Pat.
Yeah,
I don't
but
tell
You
you.
can't do that. You
I
shouldn't
don't
be on the
tell you,
team
bro.
Yeah,
either.
you should be. That's
Like,
what I
it's
was just gonna
pretty-
say, bro. You're a
both
professional.
apply.
You're a
Bro, we
professional.
all
You're
agree on
getting paid
that.
a lot of money. Like, bro, if you can't show up for practice and get there on time and actually watch film and be invested into what's going on, like if my teammate's not invested, I'm gonna be like, yo, get this guy out of here. Like, bro,
Yeah, it's the
Bro,
same thing to me.
people-
Like, if you're getting shit on, you're not invested. Same thing, bro. Get them both gone.
yeah.
Since the
The-
original, since the
The thing with P Dog is like, yeah, he hasn't had a good year. He came off a good year with New York, and they had
Yeah.
a really successful season. He comes into this year, and listen, we're not gonna sit here and act like P Dog has had the best circumstances this year and been put in the best situations. I mean, this team, especially from a management standpoint, has been just handled so piss poor, bro. I mean, the way that Boston Breach has handled the roster this season, and I'm not
And the year before that, and the year before that.
right, and I'm not making excuses. Preston needs to step it up, right? Like Preston's a better player than what he's showing. He probably even knows that. Like he's been struggling, and I'm sure that's a big thing, right? But I mean, there's been a lot of things that have happened with this Boston team. Like this team was just never gonna work. This team was never gonna
That's
work.
what I'm saying. It's like he gets another opportunity next year. Like there's
Yeah.
only so many years you can blame it on your situation, bro. Like it is what it is, and that's why. Like I
But
think
you gotta
that
put
he
yourself in a
might-
good situation.
Yeah, he maybe he does get more opportunities after next year, even if he doesn't play the best. I mean, there's people in the league that are still getting opportunities when they aren't playing the best. So who the fuck knows? But I mean, like just from like my individual like understanding, like if like one player continued to just not play well, after like 2 years,
Yeah.
like they're
Yeah,
cooked.
you
Like,
can't you can't disagree with that. Honestly, I agree with you,
Can
right?
we
Like,
switch gears for a second? If you don't mind, Tom? I
Go
just
ahead,
want to finish your thought.
no, I wanted to get Sam's thoughts. Sam, do you have any thoughts on any of this with
I mean,
Preston?
just like the Preston stuff, like he hasn't been that guy since BO4, if we're being completely honest. Like he has not been the superstar fucking takeover player since Black Ops 4. Since he joined that FaZe team, he's been the player that he was last year up until like now,
I think
since that
he
roster.
was not bad in Cold
Like-
War, though. I know, like, that team
Bro,
was
he's
terrible
been
hardpoint
the
for
same
majority.
player for the last 4
But that's the
years.
thing,
Like we're
even
sitting
if-
here expecting him to drop 1.5s.
If I
He's not that
remember
player.
Cold War, he was pretty solid for a decent part of the year once he picked up Standy, but the last 3 years after that, Vanguard last
Bro,
year,
he
this
has
year,
not
has not been
been
good.
the BO4 Priesta that is in everyone's brains
Okay, but
during this
even then
conversation
though,
right now.
even if
He's
he's a
not that
role
guy.
player, even if he's a role player, the fact that he's on this roster and struggling even this far, just it's like setting a precedent that if he's not surrounded by absolute fucking stars, that he can't even have a good year or thrive at least to a modest degree. Like he
Bro,
goes from
we're
playing to the best of
critiquing
them.
him on. Listen, I understand he's been getting shit on, bro. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not delusional. He got fucking fried this whole year. But if we're going to sit here and say that he didn't get dropped off of a champs winning roster, 3 events to the worst situation in the CDL, and now we're nitpicking him playing on 4 different rosters with terrible management, making a role change, and now we're saying he should be dropped out of the league next year. Are we fucking tweaking?
I-
Never
I-
dropped
I-
out of
I
the
think
year.
the
I said he
problem
gets
is
another opportunity to.
I think the problem
fix
is,
it.
And
Sam,
they switched
'cause I
roles.
agree with
Sam, he
you.
switched roles too, Sam. They threw him on
That's
a
what I
sub.
just said. Yeah,
Yeah,
plus the role
wait,
swap.
the
Are we
role- the role
fucking
swap is
tweaking?
crazy.
But
like
the
throwing him
problem
out
is
of
this,
sub.
bro.
No.
He did fucking. He hasn't been the same guy. But the problem is, if you go from being on those superstar lineups, playing a role player role, and you join these dog shit teams, like you shouldn't look.
No,
worse than
yeah,
your role
it's the
player
point
role.
you've been making all year. Like he needs to step up to
He
the plate.
needs to be
Yeah,
that guy on the
no,
team.
I
and he
agree
hasn't.
with you.
And to me, the problem is he is no longer that guy that can go to a team. So I think, yes, could he be a role player on a good team? Yeah, but they're not really needed right now, and that's the problem. But
No,
I
I
do
agree.
not want Preston to go to any roster and lead any team like whatever the Boston Breach experiment was.
No, I understand that, but
And
I'm
also,
saying
no
like
one said he should be kicked out of the CDO.
Bro, the concept of Preston that we have in our heads, I feel like is the BO4 version of him. Like that's what like people are waiting on. And he has not done that since Black Ops 4. He has joined this role player-esque thing that he's been doing since he teamed with FaZe in MW19, and he's been that player since. And I get that we're waiting for him to get back to that Black Ops 4 player, and I think that he needs to take advantage of situations like this year and try to do that, and he didn't, which I get as the catalyst to like drop him out of the league is, whatever. But I think that we're holding him to a standard that he just doesn't meet anymore. He's not that player. And I think sitting here saying he shouldn't be in the league is fucking crazy.
I said he should get another season.
That's insane.
No one. I said he should get another season at least.
Yeah. Well, we can move
also,
on. All right, go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, go
if you
ahead.
have something else to say,
I was
Chris,
gonna say.
move on.
I said he should get at least another season. But also, there's people that have been playing probably worse in a consistency factor than him that have been this season for longer. But in my opinion, I'm just saying like he should get at least another season. But I've said that about other players too. It shouldn't matter.
Can I switch gears for a second? Can we guess Nero, please?
That's what I was about to say. I was about to say the same thing.
Nero's 3 weeks has been absolutely frying. Like, he was absolutely everything online. Map 1s, takeover. Sometimes you get iffy map 2s, but that's been Vegas' problem with Prince Ultimate Search. But this weekend, like, I think, obviously, he's been very good. We'll get to our last series, like, later on in the show. But I think this showing from Nero to end the season has been really, really strong. And I hope that he can continue this form and continue this growth going into next year.
Well, I think the biggest thing with Nero is, like, I feel like his flaw with his gameplay is just his consistency, right? That was always his problem, like throughout the year. Like he'll have pop-off moments and then he'll struggle, and then he'll have pop-off moments and he'll struggle. And watching him play, you can clearly tell he's a fantastic player. He's a great player. Yeah. Recently, he's been so consistent. Like every series, every time we're watching Vegas, this guy's going off every single time. I think it says a lot about him. Just like I know Nero, he's a good guy and he works hard, man. I think he's just putting in the work. I think he's been putting in the work. I think he's been taking everything super seriously, and it's showing, bro. And he deserves everything coming to him. He's been really showing out. He's made a name for himself, bro. He's made a fucking name for himself.
I've gassed that kid enough over the last couple of years. And even when he was inconsistent, I always knew that kid was good. Yeah. So I really won't say much more about him, but like I think we even did like a player tier list at one point, and I was trying to like put Nero at like a pretty high ranking, and I don't know. I remember we were like, no, like no.
Yeah,
no,
well,
no,
players also have to prove themselves, Chris,
better,
right? Like that's the thing too. Like just because a player's starting low on a tier list in the beginning of the year, maybe it's because we need to see more, right? Like, we want to see more from them. Like maybe there are flaws in their gameplay that they need to work on in order to take themselves to the next level. And I feel like Nero's done a great job, man. He's been like a good inspiration for some other players who have maybe had some inconsistencies or struggling and are trying to get to that form. Like he's a perfect example of somebody who can get there, right? So huge shout out to Nero, man. Nero's going crazy, aka Z Carbone. Anybody else got any final thoughts? Vegas, we see Vegas again here in the last series, so we can continue the talks with Vegas moving forward. But any final thoughts with Boston, guys, or this series at all?
I expect
nothing about Boston.
A number of announcements on the Boston. I would say the one thing that the Boston organization can do is provide clarity on who's going to be coaching the team next season and what the front office looks like, and then go from however they're going to rebuild this thing.
Clear everybody out, but maybe
I want to see thank you everyone from the Boston Breach tweets. That's what I want. Thank you to everybody on the roster. Yeah. Thank you to everyone in the organization.
I was going to say clear everybody out besides people that they maybe moved up recently, because I think they just recently tried moving up Shawnee and the Magic guy up. So I don't really know if they've gotten a really fair shake at the whole situation.
So who cares, bro? Clean everything. If you want to bring them back, you can. But
bro,
you gotta clean it off.
I'm gonna say this now, and we haven't talked about this. I didn't really want to talk about it for the last couple of weeks, but whatever. They made stealth coaching changes to this team, and they just haven't talked about it publicly. So that will probably come out. Here in the next
Shawnee's their head coach.
Yeah,
that's a rumor right now. Shawnee's head coach.
Yeah, they made some stealth changes.
Yeah, people have been known that.
Yeah, it just never got tweeted or confirmed by the org. But
that's what I'm saying.
This might be a hot take too. I think Beans is good. I actually think Beans is pretty good. I like his game.
I've said
Chris
that.
about to pop a blood vessel for sure.
Ben played pretty good this season.
I've said that every time we talked about Boston.
There it is.
Again,
No, he's
just
good.
because
He's
I
a good
think
player.
They
He's a
should
good
keep him
player.
next
I think he's
season.
I think he's just a good player. Like
Yeah.
I don't think he's like amazing, but like for what Boston is trying to bring, if they're not going to be able to get these insane, amazing talents, I think he's not a bad like player to keep around. I just think he needs to learn
He's-
a lot.
he's just one of those
but
players-
he has potential to be a lot better than he is
He's
now.
one of those players where like you see it with the eye test. Like you could tell he's a good player. It's just the situation for all these guys was just not good, right? Like the team just wasn't working. This was never gonna work. And we called it, guys. We called this from day one. Did we not
really
call
did.
this from day one?
We really fucking did.
We called this, and some people disagreed with our takes, some people agreed, but at the end of the day, like,
how it is.
look at how it ended up. Look at how it ended up. So that's that. You guys ready to move on?
Tom, I want to take a second to remind everyone that the limited edition FaZe Clan X Steel Series collection is now global. You can now grab the FaZe Edition Nova 7 wireless headset, Apex 9 mini keyboard, the Aerox 3 wireless mouse, and QCK Ed Double XL heavy mouse pad, all from Steel Series retail partners globally, as well as SteelSeries.com. So if you go to SteelSeries.com, they might not have the FaZe stuff in stock, but especially if in the U.S., you can get it at Best Buy, and it links straight from their website. You can also use the code FLANK on the SteelSeries website for a discount, so make sure you check that out, SteelSeries.com.
Yep. Make sure you guys go check it out. If you haven't already, use code THEFLANK. It's an absolute pleasure, folks. Let's move on to the next series of the day. Let's hop into the New York Subliners going up against the Minnesota ROKKR. We have a 3-1 victory here for the New York Subliners. Minnesota obviously continuing to struggle. We take a look at those respawns. You can just see New York running away with the hard points fairly easily. And then the control, pretty back and forth. They were able to edge them out there. And just the S&D where New York fell short. We can scroll down here, take a look here at the stat sheet. And Jesus fucking
Christ.
I was tilting watching this series.
It's not looking good, folks. It is not looking good. Minnesota ROKKR just cannot keep up in the slaying department. Paco with 115 kills through 4 maps. He is our MVP for today. Who the fuck
Wait, what's the record?
did not vote Paco? I mean, that is
118
insane.
Shotzi.
Wow, he was literally 3 off, and
Yep.
Yeah,
Bro,
it was crazy. Go ahead, Ben.
so like when I saw this map set and just knowing Minnesota, I was like, okay, bro, the Neslo angle is like here because we know New York's Howard's S&D hasn't been that good, and lo and behold, they lost in the series again. That control pissed me off so much, bro. And I know in that one round, New York got that A Street spawn, but I just am tired of watching teams when they have fucking ice screen push out or watching ice screen cross, they don't see anybody. They have courtyard covered and they don't really see anything courtyard. How are we not shimmying and looking left? How are we not picking A Street? How are we not picking off the crosses? People sneak by all the time and then it just cascades and cascades. And that's how Minnesota lost that map. And we went to the crouchy hard point. It was GG's, bro. I had no faith in Minnesota saving their season there.
Yeah, I think Minnesota's struggles have been pretty clear recently. We've talked about this team a lot, man. This team doesn't work. It just doesn't work. This is another team that I just feel like when it came to management and just building the team, it just didn't make any sense. Like the moves that they were making throughout the year made no sense. And we see here now. We see here now everybody's struggling from the squad. Like, are these good players? Like, I don't think these players are bad, but together, like, it's not gonna work.
Bro, they have no brains. I'm gonna be real with you. Watching them play hardpoint, I don't know if you feel this way. Do you guys feel like they make smart plays on the map?
No,
Clearly not,
But
Ben.
listen,
Obviously
bro,
not.
I don't want to be. I want to be a dickhead, and I'm gonna say this because I love Dan, because Dan's obviously their coach, right, Looney, and I know Dan. He's a very straight up person, and I know that he fucking obviously cares a lot about like his job and how he performs and stuff like that. I want to know where his head was at this whole time when it came to making roster decisions. Because did he blindly follow what his players wanted to do? Because if that's so, I feel like I don't. Did he agree with this type of stuff? Like
I couldn't
just
even
can't,
tell
like,
you.
Like
I don't
you
even
know,
know.
you know Dan, right, Sam? Like you know Dan really well.
Yeah.
I just can't see Dan not seeing an issue with this team, and especially after they didn't decide to make a roster change after it didn't work at the last major.
Listen,
Like,
I don't want to sit
Knowing
here
the type of
and-
person that he
and-
is, it blows my fucking mind.
Go
I don't
ahead,
want to
Sam.
sit here and like start whatever narrative that we're gonna try to do here.
I'm not
fuck
trying to
that.
start.
No,
Right.
I
Start
understand, but I don't want to
narratives. Fuck
speculate
that.
and get anything
Fuck
going
that.
here. But all I will say on the topic is, knowing Danny for a very long time, I am sure he is well aware of how bad this team is.
Exactly, and that's what I'm
100%,
saying. Like,
Dan,
what the?
100%.
I know
Chris,
Dan very
Dan's
well.
losing full watching
Let
this.
me expand also, Chris. I want to add a nugget of information that might help you provide color. That's why I want to jot in here.
Okay, go
From
ahead.
my understanding with the Minnesota ROKKR roster change that happened with bringing up Sandy, like they're aware of what the potential cause and effect of adding Sandy was. And they were willing to take that risk because they felt that he was the best SMG available. So with that piece of information now, how do you feel about this?
The same.
mean,
Why the fuck did they keep the team? That's the problem. The problem isn't the change, bro. Who cares? They made a change. It didn't work. Whatever. Why did they keep the team after Toronto? That's the problem.
That's a great
Yeah,
question.
after
That's all that matters. I don't care about the change.
I don't
You
care
knew
about
the
the
team
initial
sucked.
change.
Why did you keep it?
Yeah, it's the second window they had to make a final change. Like, I just feel like if you knew what you were looking at that major and just that whole stage, you just knew this was irreparable, bro. There was no way this roster was gonna work. And then you just like kept it. It's like they just like, I don't know, they just like were all fighting to keep their spots, and you were just like, you bought into it, and it just not Dan, but just like the organization, whoever else was making decisions. It doesn't make any fucking sense how this even happened. They threw their season away, bro. They got fourth, and we knew their clear upgrade path, and they didn't take it,
Bro.
and then they didn't take it again.
It's insane,
Dude,
actually.
I know we cloud pat for the fucking early not wrong thing, but I mentioned it on another show like 2 or 3 ago. But for the situation and the thing that Pat said was like, when we can make this roster change and they are in a position to qualify for champs, if they make the wrong change and like literally squander the opportunity that they had at that time, we're gonna be laughing our asses off at the end of the season. And here we fucking are, bro. Like, we've said it a million times. Reese should be on this team. They made one too many changes and fucked the entire thing. They fucked everything. They should have just dropped. They should the entire thing. Whatever. Should have dropped Wake, kept Reese, kept it pushing, and they fucked up.
Reese is such an
Period.
impact player too, Sam. Like just the pace that he'll set
said it a million
alone,
times,
just entry fragging or pinching, or just headbutting hills. Like you know Reese gets mixy, right? Like they need that. Like they need somebody getting in there. And some people are like Linz, Standy, bro. They don't play like that. Like even Linz is more of like a roam slayer sub. Like he doesn't really like the way he play. I actually think Linz is a good player. I don't think Linz is a bad
But
player.
he's still learning, though, right?
Yeah, I mean he's still learning for sure, but I feel like they were missing like that entry fragger, like headbutting hills, like just adding pace to the team. And then Linz is the type of player who can play off of that. Like I feel like Linz is the perfect player to play off that entry fragger sub role.
Bro, I'm going to tell you exactly.
Because he plays quick. He's got a quick play style. It's just not he needs that right player with him. And even with Standy, like I just feel like for them to work together, it's probably hard because I just feel like they're kind of clashing a little bit. But go ahead, Ben. What were you
They
gonna
had
say?
kept Reese and picked up 04. This team would have been really good.
They could have picked up anyone and kept Reese, bro. They could have picked up literally any flex that was available, and this team would have been infinitely better at respawn than it is right now because they are probably statistically the worst, if not close to the worst.
Yeah.
They are good at search, but at what cost? You just get 3-1 every series. Like this was the most Minnesota ROKKR series ever. You just win the S&D and don't stand a single chance in respawn.
Yeah.
Like even if Reese isn't going to come out here and drop 1.1s, 1.2s, like he's going to give you a high impact 0.9, 0.85 and enable Linz much better than Standy has. I'm not saying it's Standy's fault.
That's
This team's
facts.
bad.
That's
But the
facts.
change was not good systematically for how you need to play respawn, period. Every single player on this team is the exact same. We've said it for months. They didn't do anything about it, and now they're not playing at the end of the year.
I agree. I can't disagree with that. Pat, you got any thoughts on the series? Minnesota ROKKR, New York. Got any thoughts on this? Especially even New York too, because New York came out and they played well today. New York looked good today.
Yeah, I'm walking back to my setup. I was at the fridge getting a drink.
No, I know you're.
Steel Series Arctic wireless headset you sent me.
W
Tom.
plug.
Ooh,
Just
I
plug the
like
plug.
that.
But yeah, I mean, this team just sucks. It's as simple as that. There's really not anything else to say. I want to see them make. I mean, I know we're talking about their roster lock, but I want to see this org blow it up. To Sam's point, I agree. Reese Vivid should have been on this roster, but I think they blew their opportunity this year, and I want to see a rebuild personally.
And I don't
Keep
know.
no one. Maybe one person.
You'd keep no. What about Linz? You wouldn't keep Linz?
Maybe Linz. I would keep Linz. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. Like this is just completely off tangent. I would keep Linz, and I would bring in the Cobra guy from EU. That guy is fucking gross. I know.
Is he a
Mark,
main rant?
Where's he from, Chris? Where's
yeah,
Cobra from?
he's an AR. I think he's French.
He's French?
That whole Wobob's
They're
team.
invading us, dude.
That whole Wobob's team was gross as fuck last year. And Abuza, obviously, he's turning around, running his normal role. Lids looked great at the start of the year before their roster just decided to make the complete worst changes in the world. And even now, at the end of the year, he still had some signs of brilliance at times. That kid hasn't got a shot. That guy's gross. I'm telling you that guy. I'm telling you that guy's going to be good when
Yeah,
he plays.
he's gonna look in this year.
Can we talk about how good the Gwyn guys would have been?
They would have been
Yeah, I know.
disgusting.
Actually
Steve,
would've been
Linz,
crazy.
Abuza, and Gwyn. Can we talk?
They would have been
I-
disgusting. They would
I
have been disgusting.
spoon-fed that to JCap. I said, yo, here you go, back in June. And look, we're a year later, and these guys are all godlike. I'm actually tight.
Well, these actually might
Hey,
actually get to
that's
winners
crazy.
finals, but I will say the
I
only
would
thing,
have been a
Rash
guy like
challenge
team.
and
the
all.
only thing with Gwyn guys is it definitely would have been like a very young team when they have like progressed the game and like understood how to play and like figure out
What the
the
fuck is
tactics.
JCap there for then?
Wait, LA Thieves is literally
Yeah,
the
players
youngest
still
team
gotta
in
be
the
able to
league
read
right now. It's
spawns,
the same
Pat. Like they still
thing.
gotta make decisions.
LA Thieves now is the same thing. They're literally like one of the youngest
They're the
teams.
youngest team in the league. Yeah.
Pat sounds like he's
Exactly.
sitting
Like,
in
what
an
are
empty
we-
room.
what are we
It's
talking
comedy.
about here?
They'd have more experience than fucking that team though. But I think that team like on paper would have had a lot of talent. Most of those guys have played particularly well this season. So I think for Minnesota, look like season's over. I think Linz you definitely got to keep. I'm very curious to see what they do about the other three individuals on the team and who they build around Linz.
Just ask Linz who he wants to play with, bro. Like, and just figure it out from there and see who's
That
available.
doesn't always
At that
work,
point,
man. Sometimes
it
when
doesn't-
you try and
it
ask the
doesn't
player
always-
first, it's like they
No,
don't even know.
it doesn't always work, but I mean, like, I'm not really too sure who's all going to be available and what this team's going to be able to really build. Like, who knows? Maybe they get rid of Linz because I feel like Minnesota is an org that has money. Like, a lot of people have always looked at that team as having money. So maybe they'll get approached by other like players that are looking to form teams and go from there. But I mean, like I said, bring in that Cobra guy, and if you don't bring in that Cobra guy to
hold
play
on,
with Linz,
I
you're
gotta
trolling.
ask a question, bro. What does that mean? They have
What do you
money.
mean?
What does
Well,
that
I
mean,
mean,
bro?
I mean, I don't think it's a surprise that X team will actually pay money to get players, while a team like LAG will not pay a single extra
Yeah.
dollar than they need to
Yeah,
because they're
but
trying
bro,
to get out of the league.
like, bro, you have money. I have money. Sam has money. Tom, none of us want to waste money. Why do we talk
G2
about these?
Okay,
orgs
G2
well,
they just wanna
maybe
waste
some
money?
teams are more willing to. Yeah, some teams
know
are,
what Chris is
are
trying
willing
to
to
say.
try to burn cash.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Wait, Pat, I don't understand
I know
how
what Chris
you.
is trying to say.
Like, what is the point? Where do you try to drive home here? Either way, I don't care. Bring in Cobra, bro. Please, I'm
I
begging.
just
That
don't
guy's
think there's a
godlike.
guarantee that these orgs like are willing to throw cash at a team that like they don't know for sure will be good. Like, yeah, if
Especially
you
now.
can get a good team, you'll throw cash. But like, I don't think it's like a, oh yeah, we have money, we're just gonna spend on.
Well, it's
these-
more so. It's not. That's
anyone
not.
we can
That's not
get.
what I'm talking about though. There's like there's competition, right? It's like if there's like a team, like a potential team or potential players that they might see value in, and if they don't offer them enough, they can just potentially go to somebody else that offers them more.
But
It's not that
but
they're.
who? Like the top four are so lost.
Well, there's a point where like they have to make a decision as to who they want to sign. It's not like they're just gonna fucking wait for every other roster to get filled out and then go for the scraps. Like they're gonna
for
obviously
sure, but
try
I'm
to
saying,
make
like-
this. What is
All
this?
right,
What
all right,
is
hold
this conversation about?
Question. Outside of the top four, you're an org right now, Chris. What player are you trying to throw money at outside of the top four? My
Dan,
only
Dan.
one is Dan Ghosty, but he's
Dan,
locked on
Gwyn.
RT.
Nero, Geo.
But like those guys
Um,
aren't getting picked off their rosters. That's the thing. Like
Well,
these,
you-
orgs,
what-
these other orgs aren't just gonna give them away.
Not what? Well, it depends on like their contracts and stuff like that. Obviously, like that
All of
obviously
them
all
signed a
matters.
new deal last year, so they're all on. new
I
1+1s.
don't know anything.
Yeah, but the problem,
in
Pat,
terms
is a
of
lot
any
of
that
these
stuff.
like contracts. What some of these teams do is they like poison pill the second year to get a player to sign. They never had intention of picking up that option on the second year. But
I think that was a thing of the past. I don't know. how
Nah,
much
there's still
that's
some
happening
contracts
now.
that are structured that way. It's not as much as it was the first 2 years. But I think to Chris's point, I think G2 has shown a willingness, even amongst this sort of down period in esports, they're still willing to spend. I don't think they're going to out here giving like Boku bucks, like $1 million contract type shit. And there will be some level of cost control, but I do think they have an opportunity to see what they can build around Linz, who's he progressed well this season. Still got things to work on, but there's a
Also-
path forward here for ROKKR.
Sorry. My
Go
bad.
ahead,
My
go
bad. I
ahead.
didn't want to cut you off. But one last thing, what Ben said, isn't that like a thing that's like normal now? It's like most of the lower tier orgs will like not really pick up an option on multiple players, and then just if they want them, they'll sign them later.
Well, it's
Is
because
that
they
not
had
a
poison
thing?
pills. London did the poison pill. Vegas sometimes did the poison pill when they were Paris.
But that's what I'm saying, though.
It's
It's
Yeah,
kind
like
of
but
the
they'll
same
they'll, they'll
practice.
probably accept the poison pill on the good players and drop all the bad ones. That's
I
my
mean,
point,
yeah,
though.
maybe
Like,
hypothetically, probably. But
that's the whole point of a
sometimes
poison pill
they
is
might
taking
not.
that risk. Like Dan Ghosty is worth a poison pill contract year 2. Nero is worth it. Like Gwen is worth it, but everyone else is not. So that's what I'm saying. I feel
Well,
like
maybe. I mean, I don't know what those organizations are thinking. Maybe they just would rather take the risk to not spend extra money in the off season. Like some organizations might actually do that.
but
where it's like,
as we know, as players, bro, the good players will attract the best players. Like that's how it always has worked in the CDL.
well, yeah, I'm not
If you
arguing
have a
whether
good player
I'm-
somewhere,
I'm-
you're
I'm
gonna
I'm
get
not
some good
arguing.
players.
I'm not arguing whether an organization should hold on to X players. I'm just more
I
so
just
saying
wanna
you
say
don't know what
this.
those guys are trying to do.
Chris, real quick, because this angle long term is going to be very interesting to CDL. And we talked about it briefly with the C9 thing. If the prize pools for the EWC club competition continue to go up, because by the way, if you win that shit this year as a club, you get 7 million. The orgs that are willing to like kind of get into COD scene and try and get a good team to try and get those points, like there will be some like floor going up. I don't think it's gonna go super high on spending. I think G2 is one of those teams because they have so many teams and are very likely to be up there to win that club competition. Like they're gonna be willing to invest somewhat in their squad. Not everybody, but they're a good example of someone that would.
I don't know, dude. The landscape of esports right now, and seeing what happened this year with like Boston willing to throw out money, and how teams are playing, especially like LAG, they're probably bare minimums. Vegas are probably low as well. They're seeing like they didn't qualify, but they had like a decent year. I think if you're not a top 4 team right now, and you're seeing like the Miami Heretics, like these teams are qualifying, I don't think that they're going to come out here and be throwing contracts at people.
I'm
like
sorry though. That's because these fucking organizations hire people that literally don't know what the fuck they're
that.
doing.
That's irrelevant to the point, though.
I know. I mean,
just-
it's
I don't
not.
see it.
Well,
They're not going
it's
to come out here and throw money
obviously-
to come play for them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, but that's because of that, bro. There are people that are
Oh, yeah,
working for
of
these
course.
Well, it
organizations.
was like that since day one, Chris. People
just
come in with a
lost,
shit ton
bro.
of money and they just didn't know anything about the space.
Yeah.
They didn't know anything about the culture, anything about the space. They didn't know anything about the
Ruined
players.
everything.
And they were just kind
Well,
of throwing darts at a dartboard.
COVID
And,
kind of ruined everything.
you know,
but
what they were doing is interviewing players one by one. But you know what happens when you do that, right?
Yeah.
It starts getting political. You don't know what the fuck be happening. There's people. The teams are all over the place, right? You need somebody to come in there day one that knows what the fuck they're doing, and you start with that, and then you work from there, right? And it's just some of these guys are just lost in the sauce. But any other final thoughts of the series, guys?
no, let's move on.
We even
All
talk
right.
about
Not-
New York. We can
not
cancel
this
it.
Well, they
Series,
play. They
but-
play again.
Yeah, we can
so
play again. Yeah.
They play
I have a
again.
question for the chat.
They slammed.
Does Ben filibuster on the flank, guys? Am I crazy?
Lizzie, what?
No, you filibuster because
Filibuster.
you don't watch the matches. You just
No,
make shit up.
no.
I don't
That's not what a
filibuster.
filibuster is. Yeah, I think you do, Ben.
Yeah, you do just to sound like you did watch it. You just fill time.
No.
If you're
Guys, I
filibustering
think
right now by
Filibuster the
saying
whole
no,
time.
no,
I think
no,
Ben,
like patting
Ben
shit
might. It might be a new name. It might be Ben the filibuster.
Yeah,
I like
okay, bro.
that.
Yeah, I'm testifying in front of Congress filibustering. Like, here you go,
Yo,
Senator. Like,
when,
you know.
when Ben gets his subscribers, welcome to the filibusters.
Bro, I didn't watch 2 weeks of matches, and people were literally coming after me like I just forgot what I was talking about, and I didn't watch the rest of the season.
God, we're on the
Like,
Optic series. Fuck.
All right,
Cra-
well, let's move
Yeah,
on. bro.
this one gets real interesting here now,
bro.
folks, ladies and gentlemen. We have the Miami Heretics going up against Optic, Texas Optic, where our major 3 champions going into the event. We all know they had a terrible online stage. We didn't know what was going on with them. We were wondering if they were going to come to land and turn it around, and they did not. They lose round 11 here at a map 5. They get eliminated. They get last place here at major 4. Just a drastic difference, right? And I think they've lost, 12 S&Ds in a row, right? 12?
Yeah, 12 to get 12th.
Which is just,
One off of the Boston record from this year.
which is
Tom, can
hurting
I start
them.
really quick?
Slay, of course you can. Oh, jeez. Of course you can.
I want to correct myself.
The rare correction.
Yeah, I'm gonna correct myself here. I said something earlier this year about this Optic Gaming team and its superstars. And I will admit I was wrong. This team has 0 superstars, Tom. 0. Not even 1.
Not even Brandon. Brandon played like
Brandon
No,
played
not
good
even
today.
one.
today.
Brandon
Not
played
not
good
even
today.
1.
Brandon-
This
Brandon
was
is great.
embarrassing. This was embarrassing. Man, they have Vickle in the interview saying "fuck the green wall." Like that's how you know
Well,
it's
do you know
bad.
what? Do you know what it is though? Because people have been coming in as like Optic fans have been coming to his chat, like sending him death threats and shit. Like I think he actually like had some motivation from the green wall there. It had nothing to do with the team, it had to do with fans.
Listen,
I mean, either way, bro. Like
don't
this
wanna
roster should not be
you
getting
don't want
disrespected.
to let the bad eggs though represent the whole entire fan base, right? Like there's
Not
gonna be
big.
bad eggs. You know, when there's a big fan base like that, you're gonna have some weirdos in there. You know, like it's
Either
it is what it
way,
is. You
this is
gotta ban those
unacceptable.
cats.
Optic was using these guys all years as like scrim bots in their matches, and then to get embarrassed in a Neslo round 11 at a major to get 12th. I mean, seriously, guys, this is pathetic. And I really wanna ask the panel here because I think I know why. But was this now 5 losses in a row? They went 1-6, then they lost the event. What happened?
They
'Cause
suck at S&D. They're
Well,
terrible at search.
what do you think, Pat?
I
They
know,
can't
but
win
I
a
mean,
search.
like,
Well, what do you think, Pat?
well, personally, Ben, I mean, as you guys know, about a month ago, I announced my return to Dallas, Texas, and ever since, guys, they have not won a single.
It is crazy that you said that you were going to Dallas and you said that they were going to struggle because you're moving to Dallas, and ever since you said that, they've just been not winning. I mean, it is kind of crazy. I don't even know. That's nuts.
And they even fled the state the day I got here. Like I literally was getting in on
thought they were
Wednesday.
gonna do it, bro.
They
I really
fled the
did.
state on Tuesday. Like they left. They went to LA because of my arrival. I really don't know what it is, Tom, but this is bad. I mean, I might have to get on the phone with Hex. We might have to figure something out. Champs is coming up.
Yeah, you're now an Optic, so you need them to play well because they're repping your city, your new city now, right?
So I'm saying they're embarrassing me right now.
I mean,
It's kind of like Sam with his Cowboys.
Jesus.
Oh, what the?
Jesus Christ. My
My bad,
God.
Sam.
All right, Duarte, we'll move on to you. Duarte, what are your thoughts of the series? Miami and Optic goes down to a last map. Optic can't win a search.
Hey,
I mean, when it comes down to their S&D, we've talked about this whole split. They just suck at search. Pred played like absolute garbage in the searches. You guys were talking about it even in their online matches. He just didn't play good in the searches. But just one thing to say about this Optic team in terms of their whole season. I get Kenny, you know, he does the IGL type stuff. Like I'm sure he's a big voice in terms of like their ideology and how they play the game. And I'm sure he helps especially a lot in terms of their respawns, which is not really the biggest issue on their team. But can we talk when you guys Pat said that they have no superstars on their team? Can we talk about how lucky this team is to have Brandon and Shotzi on their team playing the way that they play for the majority of the time when they're playing well? There was points where Brandon, at least in the stage before they won, was basically just bailing them out, winning a fuck ton of like S&D clutches that they had no business winning, and then they go into the next split and they can't win a search and destroy when this guy's not doing that. He obviously had an insane fucking stage and a major. And then Shotzi obviously just was Mr. Consistent for them at the last stage. Like, if it wasn't for those two, like, I don't even want to know where this Optic team would have been.
are we
like,
going to sit here and pretend that they were getting carried by Ken and Pred to start the first 2 stages?
No, but I'm talking about like I'm talking about now. I'm talking about now.
Oh, okay.
Like
Just
these
forget the
last
first
like
part of
2
the year, then.
stages. Well, I mean, it's in the past, but I'm more so
What?
talking about
You
now.
can't
In the
say shit like
past.
that and just forget the
It's a
part of the
season,
year
brother.
that fits what you're
I'm talking
saying.
about recently, brother. I'm not talking about the freaking first stage. Let's go talk about Minnesota's
They would
fourth
have
fucking
gotten
place.
like
Who cares?
The way that you
fucking
frame
first
that,
event.
you just said that they're the most
No.
important players on that team, and that's fucking
I mean,
insane.
in terms of their major win and how they played at the 2 last stages, I think so.
Bro, their
And
whole team is dog shit other than Ant. What? Their whole
think
team
I don't
fucking
think
sucks right
Brand's
now.
dog
They're
shit.
all bad.
Whoa.
saying Brandon is dog shit
Brand's
is
played
insane.
pretty-
You're
Brand's
gonna
played-
say that he played good this entire stage? He played well. He played to the standard that he set major 3. He had a good stage. Say
He
it.
did not play as good as Major
He
3.
did not
No.
play as good as,
I thought he
Major
didn't play
3,
too bad
but
this
Major,
land.
but Major 3,
Bro.
Major 3, he was
What
like a
series they
90.
played?
Wait, stage
They
3,
were
he was
all
like a
godlike.
99
They all
overall.
regressed. Fucking full mental boom other than Ant. Are you
guys,
serious?
I mean, guys, realistically, like they've had their moments throughout the year.
Their
There's-
entire
there-
team imploded
But
other
that-
than
that-
Ant.
that's how it
Can we
was. Like
check
there was
Chris's
moments.
sub
There was moments where Shotzi was popping off in the year. There was moments where like in the beginning, Kenny and Pred were having their moments. Then midway through the year, Shotzi and Dashy were having their moments. Like they've had their ups and downs, right? Like that's how they've been all year, right? They've all had their moments, but collectively, like they just aren't consistent. Like collectively,
Their
It's gotta be a subpocalypse
Bro,
on
they-
TV
bro.
/ Parasite.
Guys,
for this take.
it is, I think, to explain this stage is 2 things. One is, statistically, the S&D leading up to this stage They were solid, but not amazing. There were vulnerabilities, and those vulnerabilities have all come to roost during the stage. The lack of really good quality offense on most of the maps in the pool, and the decision-making they make in situationals where they throw away first bloods. And you saw it in play on what went on the map 5. Somehow King got 5 first fucking bloods in this map, and they didn't take advantage of a couple of those. That is unacceptable to me. And the second thing is, like, I don't know what happened with the Game 5 decision-making down the stretch. Because, again, yes, they haven't been a great search team, but they were figuring out ways to win these Game 5s in past stages. And this run they've been on now, they've been grinding these series out and getting to 5 and then just either getting blown out, or today they lost in round 11 where they just kind of ran out of ideas. Like, and don't get me started on the rounds that they threw away by just chasing at people, single pushing, and not forcing trades. Like, give me a break.
Yeah, they've struggled, man. When you watch them play, I mean, we could talk about the Kenny tweet. There's definitely clear frustrations with Kenny. I mean, listen,
Wait, what? Who did he subtweet?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I honestly
Everyone
don't know
jumped the
who's
gun
all
and
that.
said Pred, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
but
I don't know. what he's
everybody's
talking
been on Pred's ass. Like, he's been on his ass recently.
Yeah.
Well,
To be, and it's warranted. It's warranted. I get that. Like, he's definitely, especially in the search. Like, there were some plays where AG was kind of just losing his head a little bit.
Bro, the 3-3 and the 4-3 round Game 5 were fucking insane plays by AG.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree.
like clear, like not understanding the situation and like just sprinting.
Right. But when they
I
won,
don't know what Ken's tweet was about.
and when they won the major, AG was going crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they were all just feeding off of each other, and they were all clicking. Like, they were all. It was like a.
Well, yeah, they were all clicking. Of course, that's usually what it takes to win a major. But
Right.
like, bro, Brandon
That's what I'm
Brandon
saying.
has
They had
been
their moments, Chris.
Brandon
They all
has
had their
been good.
moments.
Brandon has been good the last 2 stages. I'm not going to say he was great this stage, but he's
been
the
good,
best
not
one.
great. That's what I'm saying.
He's been the best
good,
one on
not
his team
great.
this last stage. Shotzzy has not been as good as Brandon this stage, I will say. On top of that, the last stage or go look at their stats too. You might just look at his impact or whatever, just the same thing as everybody else. It's like, oh my god, movement, he's going insane. Like, he's super impactful. Yes, to a degree he is, but Brandon is having a better stage than him this stage.
I'm about to
Go
fucking
watch.
turn my webcam off.
Go
let me
ahead.
hear it, let me hear it.
Brandon is better.
Chris-
Brandon is better than
Chris-
Shotzzy
I'm
this
about to
stage.
Chris is
turn my
clip
fucking
farming. That's
webcam off.
Absolute clip
Brandon is
farming.
better. Okay,
Whoa.
listen, you don't
I-
have to agree. Brandon is better than
Bro.
Shotzzy this stage.
Bro,
Oh
what?
my
Hold on,
god,
hold
you're
on,
on a
hold on.
tear,
Don't
Chris.
filibuster,
You were
bitch.
on a
Don't
tear
don't
last
filibuster.
episode.
You're
Sam,
not agree.
Sam, rebuttal?
Shotzzy
You were
was
on
by
a
far the
tear.
best player this stage. Shotzzy
You
was the best
and,
player.
no, Chris. You're on a clip farming fucking tear the last 3 episodes, brother. Oh
I
my
gotta
god.
see stats
Is that
now.
stable
Now
for
I actually
Ronaldo
want
and
to.
Lacey
Now
in a fucking costume?
I
Yeah,
actually
like
want to
they-
pull up stats because I didn't want to just pull up stats.
I don't give
Oh,
a
you
fuck
pulled
about
up stats?
stats, brother. Are you serious? You
Shotzi's
think
been
Brandon's
the
been
impact
better than
player.
Ant this stage?
Yes,
Hold on,
this
pull 'em up.
stage, yes. Last stage, no.
Oh,
But
fuck me, bro.
last stage, no.
It's all good. Pull
But
him up,
this
baby.
stage, I will.
Let's see what we
Oh,
got.
fuck me, bro.
I mean,
listen,
do I-
it's
do I pull him up? Do I-
even if I'm
terrible
right
at
or Chris is
navigating.
right or
Keep
whatever,
moving
bro.
forward, keep moving. I'll
The
pull
team
some stuff
is
up.
mentally boomed. They're compromised. They are beyond repair, bro. They are one search and destroy away from beating the Boston or tying the Boston breach for the record. Like, this team is gone off the edge.
Bro.
Like, they got dead last. They lost to Miami Heretics for last place, bro. Poetic justice for the whole season.
I want to say this, Sam,
Boomed.
because I'm so tired about talking about the players and the search. If I'm an Optic fan, I've looked at the last since IW champs, how every other champs has gone since then, and the fact that this year now they're going to probably head in this event is not a favorite, and just hoping and praying that they don't shit the bed on the first 2 days. Like, how is that acceptable as a fan? Like, how are the Optic fan base just totally okay with that? Like, the complete and utter sense of Dynasty's gone.
I don't think
They're
a
like any
single
kind of
fan
change-
is okay with this. Glenn.
what
What are
is he
you
talking
saying?
about?
I'm
What
about
is
to
he
turn
saying?
my tab off. You think they're okay with that?
What?
No, I would assume they fucking
Ben's
should be.
filibustering, Pat. Oh,
Dude,
God.
Ben, what is that take? What do you mean? Of course they're not okay with that. They're losing fucking composure.
They just got dead last after winning the major.
they're-
Who's
they're-
okay?
They're mentally
Ben,
charged. They're mentally
Ben,
charged.
half
No,
of them
but
are calling for Pred to be dropped.
But I'm saying, no. You're misunderstanding the take. Then I'm not saying that it's like because there are obviously player issues, but like clearly the culture of the whatever's around the COD team, coaching staff, upper management, the facilities is through all this data we have now of 7 years. like is not facilitating teams peaking at the end of the season. I just don't know what other factors are out there to explain.
Or
Why
you're saying the trend of Optic tailing
Bro,
off at the end of the year.
across a lot of different teams with a lot of different players, and
You
not
just
just these
didn't
ones.
phrase that well.
Bro,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah, that's
The
somebody,
way you
what I'm
phrased
saying.
that was
pull up.
crazy. The way you phrased that
Okay,
was crazy.
stats wise, by the way, they're a lot closer than you would think.
That's
but
fine.
But
They could.
but if
Brandon
anything-
could
if
have
any-
better stats. It doesn't make
if
him a better
anything,
player.
Okay, I won't say they're better. I'd say they're about equal. But even then, in the last stage, they were literally like the biggest reason this team was even like making it through the online qualifier like safely and
Yeah,
got the
Brandon
record
was
that they
discussed.
did.
I'm not, bro. I did like there. My point at the beginning, if I misphrased it or if it was hyperbole, they have completely regressed. I'm not saying Brandon is a
Yeah.
shitter. I'm saying that he is nowhere near where he was Major 3. And Ken and Pred are non-factors on the map. Like the only consistent person that I looked at this stage as a North Star was Ant. He was the only person that I looked at and was like, yeah, he's still playing good Call of Duty right now. Brandon had his moments. I'm not saying he's fucking horrible, but Ken and AG have not played good, and AG has a 0.6 in search for the entirety of the
that's
stage, bro.
unacceptable. That's unacceptable.
If anything,
Makes people drop.
it's mainly. So I'm actually just looking at stats for everyone. Like S&D is their main issue. The reason this team was good at fucking stage 3 or S&D was because Brand literally had a 1.3 and literally clutched like everything.
Yeah, every
Yes,
clutch in the world.
because-
Yeah.
but listen,
Everything.
the
If you're
re-
looking at the stats for everybody else, Brand or Shotzi's again are right around the same, which is why I don't really like pin this really on him. And then like when it comes to Kenny and Pred, they've just regressed. Like
Listen,
Complete
insane.
regression.
I talked about this with Easy Max on stream. They played a lot of Invasion S&D and some Garage S&D last split. The Invasion S&D is like the hardest offensive S&D map in the game. They are a very good, even though through this S&D, they're still like a fairly solid defensive team. And last stage, they were a very good defensive S&D team. I think Brandon's a good reason for that. But like they are not a good team offensive on search. You see it in 6-star, you see it in Karachi now, and now that people are not really scoring on them on Invasion S&D, unless they have a game plan, because by the way, Miami is very good at Invasion search and embarrassed them in this map at this match. That's why you've seen the regression. And then once they started getting that momentum, as we all know, like the heads are down and they start slumping, and then the wheels fucking fall off from there. I'm just frustrated that I fucking called this fucking 8 months ago.
I know
again,
stats
and
are
it's frustrating, man. It's really frustrating.
I know stats are everything, but in their major 4 like S&D stats when it comes to both Pred and Kenny, Pred is at a 0.72 and Kenny is at a where is it?
For Major 3?
No, I'm looking at the wait.
You saying that
Okay,
at
yeah,
this
no.
stage?
So it's no. This is so at the event it's a 0.44, but it was one match. So like for Pred, and then overall on the stage he's had a 0.72 in search.
That's unacceptable.
Like he's been getting cooked.
That's
He's been getting
unacceptable.
absolutely cooked in search.
I feel like I'm
Bro,
watching last
for a
night's
team
presidential debate
that
again.
cannot. I think
They don't work together in search, by the way. That's their problem in S&D. They don't
no,
work
they
together.
don't at
They
all.
just run
No,
away.
they
They
don't
just
at all.
run around. Like AG's running around mid map trying to find picks. Like they're all trying to make plays by themselves.
And
There's
they're
They're not
no-
using their talent at all.
Yeah, there's
They're
no
trying to like
cohesion.
big brain it.
Yeah, there's no cohesion.
Yeah.
Like you watch them play, and every time a player dies, you're like, huh? Like why
Bro,
did he
AG
run
died
there? Why
5
did he do
times for
that?
first blood in map 2. 5 on
Brother,
invasion.
they had
He got blooded
Ant-
5 times.
I saw Ant sitting chicken coop with bomb, and AG had top green control, and instead of them trying to work bomb plant, AG just ran. Ant just sat there, and then AG ran towards top palace, right? Top satellite. That's
Get
what they call
killed
it.
in the like fucking cubby spot by a guy who was just sitting
Yeah,
in
and then
the
the
corner.
guy's just sitting in a corner in their spawn. It's just like that.
Their,
It's
their
just red
search
dot
has
chasing.
their search has been like this to a degree the whole year, and they like I said before, they're literally lucky they had Brandon literally bailing them out and like almost like solo fucking carrying in search. Like this has been a looming issue for them, but this is like this whole stage. We even talked about it before. Like this is what the stage 3 online qualifiers could have looked like to a degree if
Yeah.
Brandon wasn't clutching to an absurd degree, like or playing at that level because everyone else who had points in search was just mid.
This listen for Optic. This has to be rock bottom, bro. Like they have about 2 weeks now to champs. They gotta. I think the hard
I
part
don't
is
know.
still.
It could go. You could go lower, Ben.
I guess getting dead last to champs would be lower. I guess that's the only other low spot that still exists at this point. Maybe crashing EWC first round, but like, I mean, the hard point at this event, the hard point to play against Miami were pretty good. They had a nice comeback on this real hard
Yeah,
point that
map
we're
4
watching
was
right
good.
now. But control is obviously always going to be iffy, especially high rises. They've been kind of okay in control. The S&D is the biggest thing, bro. I don't know if they got to play more chows, get 8s going, just kind of relearn how they want to play search together. But they play this
I just
way.
think their dynamic just doesn't. It doesn't give consistency. Like we've
Yeah,
seen,
it's
it's kind of just the
consistency.
Shotzzy Pokeball thing, and then like Brandon
100%.
clutching rounds. And I feel like Ken and AG just never really found their rhythm in search. Like they hit that flow on Major 3 for sure, where everything that they were doing was working. But like I feel like watching Ken and AG play search with Brandon and Ant, it just doesn't look cohesive. Like you never see AG and Ant running at them, like just 2v2, 2v whatever. Like it seems like Ant's just on his own.
They're always on their own.
I said it on the watch party was when they were playing high rise a shit ton, trying to get it so they could beat FaZe. Our main critique on it was like AG and Ant just dying separately on the map everywhere. They were just always by themselves, and I feel like that problem has now leaked into the rest of their map pool, and now they're just completely disconnected from each other.
Listen,
It was like a high rise specific thing, and now I feel like it's an entire S&D pool thing.
100%. And you see that 6-star a lot too.
I mean, how do you guys think the coaching staff is feeling right now? They're probably losing fucking composure. Like I know
I
Damon
would
and
love
JP.
to be in one of those calls.
Yeah,
Well, if
I mean,
Ken's
there's only so much you can say at a certain extent, right? I mean, if you're the
That's
coaching
what I'm
staff.
saying. Like, what's like?
Because I see some people in the chat like, oh, talk about the coaches, and this is like some people are like,
Bro,
you know,
I mean,
like, what do you want
JP's
them
like an
to do?
analyst, and he has limited competitive experience. So when it comes to like
What
really
the fuck? My
aiding
bad,
them,
JP.
Look, I'm not saying that as an insult. I'm saying it's just it is what it is. He has limited competitive experience. When it comes to like breaking down like what they're doing wrong and like search and destroy, and maybe trying to find a way to aid them outside of like statistics, I don't really know what he's like able to bring there. And then when it comes to
bro,
Damon,
you're
like
disrespecting JP, bro. JP's been around
That's
for.
insane disrespect.
Bro, he's been around for a
How's
long
that-
time.
That's
Bro,
not
bro,
what
bro.
I'm saying though.
No,
I'm saying from a player perspective, how much is JP really going to help them in search?
No, that was just a crazy
Bro,
stray.
JP's
How is that a stray?
JP has been watching COD for years, and he has Damon there. That's the balance that they have, right? Like JP's kind of the guy who's been watching COD for years, knows how to play the game. He has the analytics and the stats, but then you have somebody who's actually been there, been on the stage.
I said that. I said he brings the stats.
What
and
a way you
shit.
said it. You were disrespecting him. You were like,
Listen,
No, I
Listen,
wasn't. I'm saying he doesn't. I said he has limited competitive experience.
but
He's
it's like
never
the
played.
JP fan, so.
The bedside manner there was fucking insane.
Yeah,
the way he
Ben's
said
been
it.
Ben's been watching COD for literally a decade. Is he gonna tell me how to play fucking COD?
Yeah, he was Clay's Twitch bot. He was
We got
Clay's
brother.
Twitch
Here we
bot.
go.
You
Wait.
know,
I heard Clay say that. Ben, I need to
Brandon
ask.
was better than. Okay, bro.
Wait.
Bro. You're tweaking today.
Whose Twitch account did you start?
Relax,
It was
What
really
is
Clay's?
this?
Wait, was it really Clay's?
It's Clay's on actually MLG.
I didn't even get to finish my point.
Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, when it comes to like the coaches and stuff like that, who really can aid their search play, like in terms of like what they can like say to them.
Well,
I'm gonna say it. No. Let me go. I'm gonna say what Chris wants. I'm gonna say what Chris needs to hear,
I
bro.
want you to say it.
You would aid their S&D.
What the fuck does that have
Optic
to do with
needs
anything?
you. You need to be their coach. That's what you were looking for, Chris. I'm giving it to you.
No.
Optic should hire you right now on the spot.
God, this guy's an idiot, man.
Chris, is that what you were trying to say?
No, I'm just saying, genuinely, like, who's
a
gonna
job
help them
interview.
there? It's like different when, like, okay, like for example, like, listen, you
Oh,
might
here we
not
go. He's
think
throwing examples.
you're not gonna take in, you're not gonna take in any sort of like validation here, but like for example, Tupac, when it comes to search and destroy, FaZe can go to him and actually take it fucking serious.
Yeah, but you
and
know,
like,
you know
what
what
I mean?
organization Tupac was on before he was on ATL?
Oh yeah, Optic. But you get the fucking point that I'm trying to make, bro. Like,
Yeah, we do. Optic would be insane with you on the squad. That is the point, and we all agree.
But so do you think? So that leads to the next question, right? Do you guys think S&D coaches is a factor? Do you think that matters? You think-
bro, I've been said this is a thing, and everyone says that. Oh, it doesn't fucking matter. No, you don't
No,
need a
what?
fucking
No
S&D
one of us
coach.
have saying that. No one of us have said that.
Yes, you guys have,
No,
bro.
that
You guys
wasn't even
literally
the
invalidated my.
argument. That wasn't
You
even
guys
the argument we
invalidated my
had.
whole point of
Bro,
having
wasn't
people that
even
are
the
good S&D
argument we
help
had.
coaching
What the
you.
fuck are you talking? Bro, you are clip
What
farming
was the
so
argument?
hard today.
What was the argument here?
Insane.
What was the argument
Bro,
here,
we're
Ben?
talking about
Do you remember the
coaching
argument?
and- Coaching and respawn versus coaching and S&D. None of us are saying S&D coaches aren't
What? What do you
valuable.
mean? Whenever we were talking about Boston at the beginning, when they were on their fucking stinker streak, I literally said that they need a good S&D coach that can maybe help them win the game mode. Would it made them qualify for champs? No, but maybe it would have stopped them from going
And what-
0 and
one of
12 in
us-
fucking
Did any
search.
of us say no? Because I would refuse
I
to
did.
believe
Bro,
that any of us would
Pat
say
had
no.
fucking Bevels, and
I said
fucking
no.
Bevels, I'm sure helped you guys. Like,
Okay, so right here,
I told you what Bevels did.
So right
he
here-
went to private match and found some smoke grenades.
so right here in
Listen,
this
so
clip,
Sender
Guys,
does the
guys,
same
guys,
shit
guys,
for his
guys,
squad.
listen up, because we've been going back and forth. We've been yelling, no, Ben, I'm the host. Relax. Okay, calm down.
There we go.
Okay.
Out for them.
I want to move to this clip here. I want to move on to this clip because we could break down some of their S&D mistakes. Like this is one of them, right? 2v2 situation, right? Optics on the defensive side. AG's doing a good job. He has bridge control, but he chases here. Look, he throws a stun. He runs out of chicken coop and then dies, right? But he could have just stayed alive bridge. He could have just turned around and just played a corner bridge and just sat there for.
Brother, it's 37 seconds and you're in a 2v2 on defense. They need to plant the fucking bomb in
what
your
did
bridge.
I just tell you? Wait,
Sorry, I'm
go
tweaking.
for a walk.
Down
Go for a
boy,
walk.
down
All
boy.
right, I'll be right back.
Go for a 30. Go out there. Go get some air or something.
But
Wait,
make sure you
to
have
be
your socks
fair-
on.
No.
Make sure
To
you
be
have your socks on, Tom.
And
Pred
go get
probably
your
thought he had a
slippers on.
freebie, bro.
And stay away from the ghost energies. Don't drink those. Don't
Yeah,
drink
don't
it,
get in
bro.
the garbage, Benja. Don't get in the
Because
garbage.
this guy, man, I just told him to relax. Like he starts screaming again. He starts
Oh,
fucking
Tom,
screaming.
he's in your
bro.
house acting like that,
He's
man.
an
That is just
asshole. He's a
unacceptable
fucking
out of him.
asshole.
He's an asshole.
But
I
this-
just told him to take a lap, and he did it. That's crazy.
Bro, he's pissing me off, bro. This guy's pissing me off, man. This is just a perfect example, right? This is obviously just one round, but this is just what happens consistently in S&D. Is like these 2v2 situations, these 3v3s, the mid-round adjustments, like their mid-round situations are so bad. Like you can talk about what to do off a break of a round and how you want to play around, right? But once you get to like that mid-round, once you get to like that 30, 40 second mark in these 2v2, 3v3s, like they don't play together. They actually don't. They just try and make solo
I'll be
plays.
honest. I'll be honest. This is like a serious take to reel it back in. To me, this is just a team that's lost absolute confidence.
They
across
lost.
the board.
I think it's.
Brother,
They've
mental
lost
boom.
all
Full mental
confidence.
I think it's their
Yeah,
mental.
and-
I think it's a mental thing.
Full
And
mental boom.
until they figure that out and get that back, this team's going nowhere. It don't matter how much gameplay they review or how much anything they go over. Until they figure out their confidence
Bobby
issue,
Child that, by the way.
they're
Sorry, Pat,
chalked.
but that was crazy.
What'd you
Yeah,
say,
that was
Sam?
insane.
When Hobby walks into market after first blood right here to take a gunfight,
Yeah,
I couldn't believe my
that was a
eyes.
troll too, running
I was
into
pacing
chicken
around my
coop. That-
office when they
Honestly,
did this.
I respect it because he was getting shit on this whole map and still had the confidence to do that. That
couldn't
is
believe my eyes.
typical.
Achilles, man.
But I do agree, Pat.
Yeah.
There's nothing to fix like until they get their confidence back. That's the problem.
Take my keys and go get him.
Yeah, I'll go get him right now.
I mean,
bro,
there's just
even
like
I don't
back-to-back
care.
rounds in this game 5 by AG that are just tough.
Pat-
I don't want to like.
Also,
pick on him,
great play from Real in round 11. I thought this was a fantastic play. He found a gap because Bruce was top 3 going back and forth, like trying to watch pinches and shit, and Real was just able to get behind him. It was a good play. He caught a timing here. You can see him. He's number 1. Look where he is right now. He's all the way on the A site right now. Everything goes down. Vickle, he gets a kill. I don't know why he ran into chicken coop here. He did such a good job getting the blood, and then he kind of trolled here. But he goes top 3, and he kind of does this thing where he's like, look at Bruce. He has to watch pinch, mid-map, and he's trying to look over people on bomb. Like, bro, they're putting Bruce in the blender here, bro. Like, he's spinning in circles. Look at his arrow. He's literally looking at everything right now, and Real took advantage of it. When they have a setup like that where they're just relying on people to just pick up, they're playing by themselves. Right, there's no ifs, ands, and buts, but there's nothing else to talk about. Like they play by themselves, and you can see it like through these rounds.
He's also
like
kind of tweaking though. Like
they're
if you're
putting
just breaking
themselves.
down,
No, they're putting themselves in bad situations, Chris. They're putting
if you're
themselves
just
in
looking,
these
if
situations.
you're just looking at the round objectively, like his teammates on bridge, the other guys on bomb, like Brandon needs to just look at mid maybe and then peek his flank. Like there's no reason for him to be top 3rd looking down the street because the guy that's like Coop can kind of see that angle and like help his teammate maybe potentially get the bomb down. Like they're just hesitating and they're not really sure what they want to do. Maybe that is a stem of confidence, Pat. But again, I'm gonna disagree with you there because you said there's nothing to fix when they don't have confidence, bro. Even when they had confidence and they were placing well, their S&D was still not good. It wasn't this
confidence-
bad.
Yeah, but
It
the
wasn't this
problem is,
bad, but
Chris,
it was
they don't
bad
have confidence
still.
in themselves. They don't have confidence in their game plan. They don't have confidence in anything, bro. They're compromised.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
the problem.
Shit.
Yeah,
Agreed.
Pat, I remember when you were
bad.
saying the same thing, like how you wanted FaZe to have more grit and play with like that more of like, yo, like, you know,
Yeah.
we're FaZe, right? Like these guys just won a major. Like, you would think they would go into the next stage playing like their shit don't stink. Like,
That's why I kind of going back to earlier. Like I have no idea what could have happened from the end of Major 3 to the start of Major 4 online qualifiers, other than the fact that I announced my move, because it makes no sense how
There's
these
nothing
guys
else.
lost all confidence out of nowhere. Like something had to happen outside of game or something. And Chris is gonna say the headshot multiplier, and that's insane. But I genuinely don't know.
Bro, that
what
shit
what happened to this team's confidence?
Bro, that headshot
2
multiplier
weeks?
has made some people so much better. Like,
Bro, some of the kills
or
on Atlanta
or
are
I don't know if
crazy.
it's made them so much better
kills
because
are
like
crazy.
it genuinely is the headshot multiplier. But I think with the headshot multiplier in play, some AR players' confidence in terms of how they approach the map and challenge gunfights has definitely gone up. And you cannot say that isn't a lie, bro. Some people just chow anything now because they know they're gonna get a headshot.
What do you guys think about this Ken tweet?
I don't
even
understand
know
at all.
what
They
this
won
is
both the hard
about.
points. They can't win a search. They won their
I
hard
think
points.
I think he's just mad, like
No,
the
but
fact
that
it happened.
that's
I don't
insane.
think
Hey, guys,
nitpick,
guys,
though.
let Sam talk.
I don't think it's. I mean, it is a nitpick at the same time, but it's more, I think, of just a frustration of the overall problem. I don't think it's necessarily about this specific situation. Just like a systematic breakdown of the team is more like what he's alluding to. Like they just know what they need to be
Can we
doing.
bring
It's
that
not
up?
happening.
Can we see who that was? I'm genuinely curious.
At the end of a hard, not even on the hill. At the end of a hard point. Which hard point was it? Was it the
Rio.
I
first?
think
think
it was the
people
Rio,
have been saying the
right?
Rio P3.
The Rio P3. Yeah, let's pull it up.
Yeah,
I'll
the
pull it
end of
up.
the game.
So while we pull this up, like, do you guys think this is one of those situations where Ken is like watched his team play so much now that they're just making the same mistakes over and over and over? They've talked about it in private, and he feels like the only thing he can do at this
for
point
sure.
is just air their fucking dirty laundry out and just hope that
I don't-
public
I mean-
pressure changes stuff.
I mean, that's
I don't
That's
think
a
never
risky
a good
strategy. It's
idea,
risky.
but-
It's risky.
It's never
Last
good
time,
for
last time
anybody.
Kenny tweeted something like that after their league match. I remember there was a clip on Reddit or Twitter of like Hex being mad at Kenny's tweet because like there was like a tweet that got put out and then Hex was like, "Who tweeted that?"
Well,
Who was that?
Hector, like a lot of owners.
Well, listen, you know how Hector
wanna-
is, man. Hector wants them to,
I-
to worry
I
about
know,
it
but, like,
in-house,
that's-
man.
Of
That's
course,
fine,
of
bro.
course,
Hector's just
yeah,
looking
you
out for his
know-
players, his brand, his team.
Yeah, but that's
Hector
what I'm
knows
saying.
what
This
he's
isn't
doing.
good. This isn't good. Yeah, this isn't.
Owners are not going to want teams to like players to publicly fight
Yeah,
with each
and
other.
it's gonna happen.
And
It's
so
gonna happen.
Hector's response is understandable, but I also understand Kenny if what I'm assuming is true here, that he feels like they're not learning things in
wrong shit.
practice. They're making the same mistakes over and over and over. And he feels like the only card he has left to play is to just kind of publicly shame people, and hopefully they kind of change their ways.
Yeah, I pulled up the wrong shit, bro. There's so many fucking.
Basically, we
Scroll
gotta
up,
bring
Tom.
back bullying.
Day
one.
2. Yeah.
All right, let's take a look here at the end of the Rio and see what was going on here, because I don't even know what happened. Wasn't it the P2 or which hill did it end on?
And on P3.
They're not P3.
All right, I'm picking it up right now. It's just a little laggy, but and then on the other side, we should talk about Miami too, man. Miami looked good today. I mean, they've been looking better. They definitely had a lot on their plate, bro. I felt like it was a grudge match for them. I mean, just the way Vickle even responded right at the end of the series,
Yeah.
like clearly,
Poetic
like
justice for them to win this.
Their S&D work that they have put in, this split is paying dividends right now. And obviously they want to keep winning and start getting, deeper in this tournament, getting a better seed for champs. But, the Nesla angle was always going to be the angle in this series for them to win. And they executed, I think, to pretty close to perfection.
all right.
I'm
So
just
let's.
happy to see the translation. from
I
online
see
to
what
win,
Kenny's
too.
talking about. I see what he's talking about now. I found it. Look at this. All right, going into this P3, is this what he's talking about? Everybody's just like kind of away from the hill. You got one guy push bridge.
Ken
one.
pushed out bridge. This is
Yep.
definitely what they're talking about.
Kenny lost full here.
Does he have to run back to get time here? Does he run backwards?
He ran back. He lost full.
Oh my god, he's
that's
tweaking.
He lost composure.
I would tweak if I were him. Because
Wait, so whose fault was it?
That might be
Back
tweet
it up.
worthy.
it's
That one
insane.
might be tweet worthy.
I don't even. Got one guy pushed out mid. I mean, do
You
you
gotta back
need?
it up even more. You gotta back it up even
Yeah,
more.
you got to go back.
Let me go all the way. Let me go all the
It's
way
got to
back.
be 8, right? Am I tripping?
So Kenny kills a guy bridge.
So Ken's first guy wins his fight.
Yeah,
AG's,
7
7
AG's,
5
AG's
definitely
fine.
stay out.
AG's
so it's
pushing
either
old.
6 or 8.
It's got to be 8 last off spawn. Dasher.
Yeah, it's 8 for sure. Yeah, he just went to look exactly. Maybe Pred was like fucking insane comms, like on me or whatever. But
Yeah, but Brandon can just hold hill and they'll all play tight around the back and Ken having all of bridge. Like Brandon doesn't need to double blocks, is there? No.
no, yeah, it was for
Yeah.
sure Dashy to be the one to do it. That's why I was wondering if Pred was like stress calling something for Dashy to not listen or to not get the hill.
I mean, AG's play is good because again, he gets
Chris-
information. He hits old and he gets information right. If he sees the 3 people old, like it's gonna make their read on how they want to rotate
Then
over to
Kenny
win the
dies.
ski.
You can see Kenny
Yeah.
now's watching bridge from like he has to pick up left now from hill, and it's like such an awkward angle for him with an MCW, and he just gets shot in the back. Which, by the way, Miami just waltzed through mid and shot Kenny in the back. Look at number 4, Vickle. Look, he runs down the stairs and just shoots Kenny right in the back. AG was running in circles here. Like even right there, like Kenny and AG can play off each other there. No, Like, can't they play? Like, can't they just work together there? Like, yo, they're turtled here now. Like, everything went to shit, right? They didn't rotate properly.
I think Ken's just tweaking because he's seen
He's
nobody
tweaking.
bridge.
No,
and
he's
like
tweaking.
people
He's
break this
tweaking
hill
for sure.
from bridge sometimes, so it's just like this is no info.
And they made the most of it. They still clutched up. It won the bat, but you know, little things like that. You know, Kenny's obviously a perfectionist, right? You got champs right around the corner, like stuff like that. Especially against top three teams, can really, really hurt you.
Go back to the tweet, Tom, real quick, because there's a reply. The reply that he replied to basically backs that point up, and that's a key thing that I think like some fans. So go back to his tweet, scroll down.
Did Chris disconnect?
Yeah.
Did he? There he
Says
goes again.
power went out
Ken
yesterday.
might
so
delete his
power might be
replies.
on.
It's on Reddit.
What did he say?
Oh, this right here. That's a tweet right there.
Okay, so what did he say here? Let's swap it over and see what he had to say. So somebody said, didn't y'all win all hard points? Am I tripping? Y'all got Nesloed. They did both. So, Kenny, I'm saying this is a human sure mistake or whatever, but y'all won the games. End of the day, what matters is the control and the S&Ds. Kenny said might be the dumbest way to think. I'm genuinely confused as a player. Even if my team fucked up on a hard point, I'm not tripping if we win it, especially not tweeting about it. I'm going to talk about it in VOD review, most definitely, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just dumb. That's what he said. That's what the guy said.
I think
Just perfectionist mentality.
Yeah, Kenny's just like, I think people are looking into these
Just
tweets
how
like
Ken
too
is.
much. Like, but even if that was my teammate tweeting, I'd be like, yo, this guy actually just cares. This guy actually just wants to win. Like, it's a little shit like that. Like you get better from shit like that, right? Like Kenny's keeping these guys on their toes, bro, and trying to get these guys going.
I think the last point to say about Optic is this is it, bro. Like they get back from LA, it's lock-in time, bro. All the stuff that you've done over the last few months, you squandered away now in the last month or so. You got to get it back. You got to put the work in. No,
Pat's face.
Pat's
No,
face
I'm not
is fucking
laughing.
hilarious. I know.
Not you.
It's a massive, absolute fat face fucking over Chris's thing. But
My internet went out and it came back. Sorry.
classic.
Oh, good. You have
Texas
that job
bullshit.
interview call? It's all good.
Yeah, you got a FaceTime from Hector.
You just hopped on a job interview real quick.
Optic Parasite, new S&D coach. But yeah, no, Optic's got to just outwork everybody the next few weeks. It's the only thing you can really control is work harder and start chipping away your issues. And if you make the run at champs, then this will all be funny to laugh about. At the end, if they come up short, then there's gonna be a lot of questions about how this team has
Well,
handled the
listen,
marathon.
a good thing for them is they got some time now to take a break. They can kind of reflect on the stage, right? They know they can win an event because they already done it. So they just need to get back on form. It's a reset for them, right? Like they're lucky they're in champs. They don't got to worry about any of that stuff. They have another opportunity to come out and show out.
They've locked in 2 or 3 seed, right? No matter what for champs.
They're gonna be
They
third
can't-
seed.
They're
I
third
believe.
seed.
Okay, yeah. But 2 and 3 are the same, basically. That's what I was saying. Like they can't fall to 4th. So
No.
No.
And New York is
Lose
closer to the
anything.
bottom 8 than the third seed.
gotcha, yeah.
The weird thing that can happen is if LAG beat Thieves, because LAG is then going to get a lot of points from this major and jumbly standings in a very interesting way.
How many points do IG get if they win tomorrow?
30,
They get another 30, so they'd get what, 170? They'd shoot up.
because they'd be top 30.
Yeah, they-
Nah, they would
they'll
be
pass.
They would get
They're-
200. They would have 200.
They're already at 170.
Oh, they're
They
at
would be
170
15.
now.
They-
Okay,
they-
so
they-
No,
this
because
is not
Miami
updated.
also won.
It's not updated.
No, this isn't updated.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So if they're at 170, okay, LAG's making moves, man. These guys are
LG would
making
get 200 if
moves.
they win tomorrow.
I know, Ben, you want LAG. They want more gas, man. We got to show them some gas. They've been playing better. They've been playing better on land. They just need to keep it going now. They might
Who do they
solidify.
play?
They play Thieves tomorrow.
Oh, I got these.
Bro, it's funny. I was talking to them.
Winner gets top 3.
I'm like, bro, how does it feel to not have to play a match on Friday? They're like, it feels great. We can just come in, work on things we want to work on, warm teams up, and like prepare for a match on Saturday. So
Yeah.
top side of winners bracket gonna be very interesting.
Then we swap on over. We got the New York Subliners going up against the Vegas Legion. This was the last matchup of the day. Only map that Vegas was able to take was the high-rise control. The Karachi Hardpoint, high-rise search, and the Rio Hardpoint all went in favor of the New York Subliners. Scroll down, take a look here at the stat sheet. You can see a 1.18 from or 1.08 from Paco. He's got 99 kills in the series. Dante, what a great series, 1.16. Dante had 20,000 damage in this series.
Hit 8,000 in game 3.
From 4 maps. Dante has been great for these guys, man. I know.
Chill. If Dante wasn't on this team, bro, this team would be winning events.
I
So
also
we
do
gotta
want to
chill.
say the stats don't really showcase it. In my opinion, I thought Caesar played a lot better today. In terms of just like getting in the mix more and trying to be more active. I don't really care too much about his stats. They won the series 3-1. Just visually, just watching, I like the way Skies was playing today. He looked like he improved from yesterday. Looked like he had more confidence today. He was flying around, challenging things more. And dude, Caesar can shoot, man. Like that's how I want Caesar to play. I can care less if he's dropping a 0.8, 0.9. Like if he's playing like that, bro, like this team's gonna have just a lot more slaying pad. They're gonna be a lot quicker on the map. And he showed out. He played a lot better. I was liking the way he was playing today. He looked good. But what did you guys think about the series, Sam? What did you think?
It was a good win for New York. I thought there could be some upset potential here with Vegas. But I mean, yeah, Dante had a fucking crazy series today. I thought he was great. Hydra obviously doing everything that he normally does. And Kiz actually had some shining moments again, not on the scoreboard, but the end of the Rio, for example, when he popped like a 9 spree on the P1 to
That
close.
was sick. That was sick.
Yeah, Kiz had a couple big moments today. Same with Caesar, as you mentioned. So this was like a good win for New York, I think. Granted, it's Vegas and they were expected to win the series. I was happy with the way that New York played because we didn't get to talk about them from their first series, but
yeah,
that should have gone game 5 with Paco breaking the kill record in 4. That series could have got very interesting with the way that ROKKR was playing Search. So if we had talked about that series, I would have said that they didn't play particularly well. So to end today on something like this is definitely a good sign on Saturday or for Saturday, I should say.
Yeah, I agree. Duarte, what did you think of the series?
I mean, Sam pretty much covered it. Yeah, they played a lot better. Who would have thought that Kismet can still have a good series with Dante on his team? He's honestly
God,
kind of surprised. I just like the troll, bro. I'm sorry, but yeah, no, Dante's been good, man. Dante, this whole stage has been really good for this team. He's been like kind of living up to that Slayer like mentality, that type of play style that we know he has, and we know that he can drop numbers, and he's been doing it this stage, right alongside Paco. If this New York Subliners team wants to make a run at this tournament, they want to like actually maybe even potentially make a final. They are gonna have to have Kismet and Skies just playing better, and today is a step in the right direction. Obviously, they're not gonna like go insane in the stat category, but they need to like just be impactful. In terms of their play styles and utilize that as much as they can. And this is a series where they definitely did that. On the Vegas side, man, I just feel bad. I mean,
I feel bad too.
Vegas has
This is
just been
such a
one of those
what-if season,
teams
man.
that's
Such a
been
what-if
so
season.
good, but cannot close a fucking series ever, bro. No matter the fourth. I think Johnny, even though like he didn't have he had like a pretty stinker series in his first one today, even though they won.
He had a bad day.
Yeah, he had a bad day, but he had some great moments for this team. And then Nero, Geo, and Attach, they had their ups and downs, but for the most part, I like the trio. Big fans of them, and I hope they get opportunities or return next season and try to figure it out. Because again, like you guys said, yeah, it's definitely the biggest what if season for these guys.
I'm gonna maybe say a crazy take about Vegas. The crazy take about Vegas, like I don't, unless there's like clear upgrades in the offseason, you could probably make the argument that they should run back this team. I just don't. I'm just with the way that they're going to make changes, aka last. Like I don't know if they just making our leftovers team if it's going to be better than just trying to keep like the continuity of the squad and see what they do next season. What do you guys?
I mean,
think?
the only upgrade path that they might want to like search for is if maybe they can just because obviously Johnny came into the roster late, and although he had like bright signs, like if they can maybe like try to invest in somebody like Gwyn, for example, or something like that, and try to like do something with that. They may be able can justify it, but like looking at the team on paper, I genuinely, unless they get picked apart by other rosters, when it comes down to this team, I don't really know if they can like if they can really fit a better team together. Like
that's what I was thinking.
I don't know.
I think it's an interesting one for Vegas. I can't believe I'm fucking saying it, but because they
don't
crash us.
disagree either.
It's just how it breaks down, and I think
Let's close some fucking series next year, and you'll probably place the top 4, maybe once top 5 through 6 a couple times. Like
I mean, if you look at all their individual pieces, like we would call them upgrades for a lot of teams, and the fact that they're on the same team right now, I don't even like. It might be insane to say because they crash out and didn't make champs, but like I wouldn't hate the run back either. To be honest, I think their core 3 is very good. I've been high on them all year, and to see the placing that they got, I don't think it correlates with how
it's not like they had this.
It's
not like they had this team the whole time, right? Like if
if
they would have had this team, I think the whole time, like they probably would have made champs.
And they had Geo major
Nero's disgusting. Geo's in the Rookie of the Year convo, and I think Dill's had his best year in a very long time. So it's a weird stance, genuinely, because they got 9th or 10th or whatever. But I don't hate the run back.
Pat, what do you think? Pat, New York, Vegas, what are your thoughts?
I mean, just a clean series out of New York. I don't think I agree necessarily with the run back. I think they have a good foundation to build on, but I'm always in the camp of if you can improve, you should improve. And I think Vegas is one of those teams that if I'm a player on one of these worser teams that am going to get let go or whatever, I would want to play with these guys on Vegas. And so I wouldn't hate if they kept the team, but I still think they should be looking at potential upgrades if they're there because I think they have a great foundation. And I think as far as players go in the CDL, if I'm any of these guys on these bottom 8 teams, Vegas is probably a team I'd want to join.
I just can't really see anyone that they would get that is
Yeah.
like a clear upgrade for anyone, and it's just to the point where it's like
they're the upgrades for people.
yeah, exactly. You're not. It's okay. Let's just be real here. You're not kicking Gio or Nero off the roster. Like
No.
they're not only young but talented.
I'm kicking Gio if I get
The-
ghosty. Like that's what I'm
Dan's
saying.
not,
Like
Dan's
there's
not gonna leave
arguments,
Thieves to go to Vegas.
but that's what I'm saying. There's arguments. If there is an upgrade, they should upgrade. It's
Yeah.
just that simple.
I
Like
heard
there are only people that are quote unquote upgradable, and even then it's just kind of silly to say is like Attach and Johnny, just because they necessarily didn't perform as good as Gio and Nero from a consistency perspective. I think Attach did have great showings and was really good earlier in the year, but then he started to kind of like play a little bit worse, but not bad to any degree. So like there's just no upgrade path, like at all. For them.
They're
Like,
just
unless they
not,
can get star players, like mega star players to play with any of them.
They're not because Vegas isn't going to pay that kind of money.
Yeah,
so
Vegas
unless-
never does. Vegas
and
doesn't-
so,
it's
like-
hard for Vegas to get players like that.
And to be honest, like we just talked about a team that might be swapping out with their SMG players after this season. Like they're also not going to get the 1A or 1B sub guys, which would be like to me the only upgrade path because I don't see them dropping Dylan, and I think you should really invest in Geo's development. And as good as like say Dan is, I don't see Dan going to Vegas. That's basically the only AR I'd probably swap out here, other than say Abuza, and he's not going anywhere because he's going to be locked in too. So, bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah, I'm happy that they put the clip here. The Bulldog here at the end of the game was insane.
Yeah, it
bro.
was bargain, bro.
He went fucking crazy. Actually, I'm down to go
Him
to.
and Gio went band for band, dude. Gio's 9 spree before this life, and then Kiz had like an 8 or 9 to end the game. It was actually nuts.
Yeah, like Bulldog was just catching those timings, man. Just that rhythm, that flow state, working off his teammates, playing his life well, and honestly just being a nuisance, man. Getting pushed up, even here. Once he gets pushed up, he sees this guy slides, shits on him with the pistol, plays his life, comes back to Esky. I mean, this guy was everywhere. Even the shots here, he doesn't finish the kill, but gets a kill through the stun. I mean, the Bulldog was barking, man. You're right, he was barking. This guy
They
was
didn't really
going
show.
nuts.
They didn't show it in these highlights, but obviously Vegas was down by a lot. They were down by like 100, and they made like an insane comeback. And then Gio also popped like a 9-piece, literally on the bridge hill, to bring his team back into it.
Yeah.
Before going into the P1 right there, where Kismet basically just reverse Uno
This
card
Gio
them.
9 streak right here. This is it right here.
Oh, it's right there. Yeah,
he
nice.
was going fucking crazy, bro. He was going nuts. But I was actually like, holy fuck, bro. There was a period of time where the kill feed was all orange, bro. Like, it was all Vegas. Like, New York couldn't get a kill. They had such a fat lead, and Vegas kicked up to a whole nother gear. And we've seen Vegas hit that gear. Like, Nero running around, and Gio, and even Johnny and Dylan getting in there sometimes. Like, bro, when they
We've
hit
seen
that
a couple crazy
Seen
Rio comebacks.
Crazy Rio
lately.
comebacks in New York.
Something
New
about
York's
the second
also-
rotation on Rio lately is a plague for whoever's in the lead.
Yeah, no, it
People
is
stop
weird.
now. You know what my thought process is, Sam? Having seen, I think people just forget how to play the game. They just get put in the fucking blender, and sometimes
Well,
they'll
this
all
map's
rock-
super easy to front run.
No.
Yeah,
That's
you
the thing.
go 4 dead, and then they're going to beat you to new rotation at that point. Anyway, if you just want 4 dead, like it's
You
real
want
tough.
what it is, bruh? It's that this map, it's so easy to fall in the trap of hitting old that
Yeah.
teams often just flood old, and they just like people almost forget that streaks are in the game, and they just like the map traps you into the mentality of just flood, and then all of a sudden, like you don't even realize it. You fed a player on the enemy team a streak, and then they just get that streak and they start snowballing you, and that happens like every time you see a Rio comeback. It's off of streaks, like chaining like hills together that shouldn't be chained.
Yeah, I say we take a look here at tomorrow's matches and see what's going on. Got a lot of bangers tomorrow. It's going to be a good one. We kick things off. We have Toronto Ultra going up against the Miami Heretics. This is a losers round 2, so whoever loses that series will be eliminated from the tournament. We also have Atlanta FaZe going up against Seattle in winners round 2. That's going to be a good one. Seattle's obviously been stepping up their game, so excited to see how they come out there. And then we got LAG going up against LA Thieves, winners round 2. Either LAG or LA Thieves are getting top 3 tomorrow, which I'm sure is a good
That's
feeling for
fucking
them.
nuts.
Yeah, it's a good. Must be a good feeling for those guys, man. Must be a good feeling for sure. And then, of course, we don't know what's going to happen in the losers round 3 because we don't know how everything's going to kind of unfold here. But let's give our predictions on the first 3 series. I'm going to start Toronto and Miami. I'm going to go with Toronto on this one. I thought they looked a lot better today. Maybe they can kind of ride off that momentum they had. I mean, granted, Miami also did have a crazy clutch today and clutch up. But I just think throughout the year, Toronto's obviously been a better team. They've been a top 2 team all year. I got to go with Toronto. So I'm going to go Toronto 3-1. Ben, who do you got?
This is the most important game of the Miami Heretics season. They have not had a great experience versus Toronto, and they can very easily, and unfortunately I'm going to predict them to just have a complete letdown after a big win against Optic. I would love to see them beat Toronto because it would really change, to your call out earlier, whoever said it, I think it was Chris, about the top 4. It makes a very interesting conversation. They're able to take Toronto down early in this tournament, but I got Toronto. I want to say Toronto 3-0, honestly.
All right, Pat, who do you got?
Well, I said I have Toronto winning the whole loser bracket, so I got Toronto.
All righty, Chris.
I have Toronto, but I will say this is going to have to be a mega Neslo out of Miami if they want to win it. Maybe not the control. I think they might have to sneak a hard point in. I don't think they'll beat them in the control. But the S&Ds are going to be a
that's not
They're gonna
necessity.
play high rise, and that's Miami's best map. So there.
Yeah, but it's also but Toronto also has like not lost it at all. Right? And like now, like they've just recently started playing it, and they've
I'm
just
saying it's just like
they've just been world starring it.
Like, both
you
teams
think
are
it
comfortable
just goes down to an ego chow? Because I feel like, yeah, Miami is good at it, but there's a world where Toronto kind of recognizes the fact that they're good on it and they don't go for the square up. It's scrappy, so they'll probably go for the square up, but they can like just get another map for free.
Well, Toronto
that
has
they
3
know that-
auto vetoes in like every series they've played this year.
Actually,
They're
you're
the
right. They
stage.
won't play invade. They won't
don't
play
play
what
Invasion.
invasion. Yeah. So yeah, it will be high rise. So yeah, you might be right. But either way, it's gonna have to be a Neslo, bro. It's gonna have to come through searches. If they lose that second search and destroy second map, even if they somehow win first map, like and they lose that search, I don't think they win the series. So I got Toronto though.
Agreed.
All right, Sam, you agree?
Yep.
All right, then we got Atlanta FaZe going up against Seattle Surge. With the way Atlanta FaZe has been playing, I got to go FaZe, man.
Yeah.
They look insane. I'm going to go Atlanta FaZe 3-0. Going Atlanta FaZe 3-0 here against Seattle. Who do you got, Ben?
I got Atlanta FaZe 3-1. Seattle will take first map and FaZe will win the next 3.
All right. What do you think, Pat?
FaZe for sure. Easy 3-0.
All right, Chris?
FaZe, they are literally training this event until finals.
Sam?
The trading is insane. I also have FaZe.
All righty, and then we have the
And I
Los
got
Angeles.
LAT.
You got LA Thieves, Sam?
I'll go first. LAT 3-0.
I'm going to go LA Thieves as well. I'm
Wait,
gonna go...
actually, I take that back. LAG 3-0.
The cheese, man. I'm going to go LA Thieves. I'm going to go LA Thieves 3-1. I'll say LA Thieves 3-1. Maybe even a map 5 there. I wouldn't be surprised if that went to a map 5, but I got LA Thieves. Who do you got, Ben?
I got LAG 3-2.
Okay, Pat?
Thinking thieves.
Chris?
See, unfortunately, me and Sam are both on the same train where we just cannot
go.
pick
Chris is
our
picking LAT.
teams. So I am picking the Thieves to win this series.
All righty.
And I will say they will win 3-2.
Okay, a last map from Chris. Well, it's that time, Ben. It is time for you to sink the putt.
Bro, this putter is insane.
Yeah, this putt is insane.
he's
He's
in
already
the
fucking
wrong lane, locked in,
cheesing.
Ben.
Let me pan down so you can see how
Oh,
insane
wait,
this
you're
putter
already
is.
making excuses.
He's already
Wrong
fucking
lane, locked
cheesing
in.
here. He's already cheesing. It's what Ben J does, folks. He's cheesing us. He's fucking cheesing. There it is. There's the magical putter. Look at it. Look at this putter here.
Wow,
Ben
that
J-
shit looks
What is
freer.
that map?
Wait, that shit looks so much more free than the one he uses at home. Like this, there's no way
look
he
at
misses.
this
He's been
putter.
missing it. He's
Bro,
been
this
missing
is
it.
a 4-foot mat.
Look
Ladies
at this
and-
putter.
Are you all right? Hold on, Ben. Hold on. They're getting their predictions in. All
Bro,
right.
I listen. When I brought this putter mat to the studio. Like, dude, this putter is not. I'm telling you, like, bro, this is
Bro,
not
I
a.
know I
This
would
is like a
cook Ben
mini
and
golf
putt-putt.
putter.
Ben is
Yeah, that's
trying
why I
to
know I would
sell
cook
you
you.
guys and make it seem like he's not going to hit this. This is
Bro, it's hard,
No,
bro.
Ben's not a putter, bro. He's like.
This is also
he needs
Ben
to be
Wait,
on
Bennett.
wait,
the
Ben.
board.
Don't go yet. Don't go yet, Ben. I'm gonna go. Maybe I should go full cam for this. Maybe we should go a little full cam here.
this is technically all. This is also Ben on LAN. Like we gotta remember he's an onliner.
Bro, I'm telling you, this putter, Tom. You try to line up and try and hit this putt.
Try what lineup? What are you
This
talking
putt,
about?
Tom
bro,
doesn't golf.
This
Brother,
putter's
I
insane.
don't golf, bro. I don't golf. What are you talking
This
about?
putter-
this screen is putrid. I don't know what
Yeah,
you
this putter's
did. But
insane.
I know. I hit the wrong. See, I don't think I have a full screen. It's all good, Ben. Just sink the fucking pod. Just sink
well,
the fucking
I'm gonna
pod,
attempt
man.
to. We'll see.
Ladies and gentlemen, Benjamin seems
That's
sticking up to
like
the plate.
3 feet.
He's got his socks on. Can he
Nah,
sink
this
the
is
ball?
unmissable.
And he misses the putt.
No, I made the putt.
Oh, he made the putt. He barely made the fucking putt. He got lucky.
No, that
He
is
got fucking- That is
unmissable.
free, bro.
No,
That
his
is
putt is
fucking-
This is
Repeat.
unmissable,
This putt is
bro.
definitely missable, bro. I'm
Nah,
telling you.
I watched him
That
miss
is a
before.
3-foot putt.
I actually watched him miss before,
Bro,
but
it's an impossible. This,
now
this
don't
putter,
try and miss on purpose now to make
this
it seem
putter
like
is
you know.
hard, bro.
Don't try and miss
Yeah,
on
he
purpose,
just
bro.
missed on purpose.
I just,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
just iced up, bro. Like, give me some fucking credit, man.
Gosh, just-
Dude, he's basically trick shotting on this mat. Like we gotta get
Give
him
some
off this
fucking
mat.
credit for once.
That's hilarious. Well, guys, that's gonna do it for us. It was a long day today, man. We had 5 matches today, and tomorrow we have another 5 matches. So long day. I'm excited to get into it. I hope you guys enjoyed the watch party and the shows. Guys, we will be dropping new merch tomorrow as well, Zooma.gg, so make sure to go check that out. Like, comment,
wait, really quick.
Yep.
Ben, is it true you run the CDO hater account?
That is not true.
That's the rumor on the street, Slay.
Well,
That's
that
the
rumor
on the
is
street.
fucking
That's
cap.
insane.
That's
Fake
the rumor, man.
news, fake news.
Guys, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, go to anchor.fm/theflank. Check out audio slash Ron. Go follow at the flank on Twitter. Ger's doing a phenomenal job running socials. Zooma.gg for the merch. And of course, use code TheFlank, SteelSeries.com. Make sure to go check it out. 12% off. Use the code before it's too late if you do want to cop something, folks. It's been an absolute pleasure, guys. We will see you guys tomorrow for another day. Make sure you bring that energy, man, because the energy, guys, the energy in the stream, bro, has been fucking insane, bro. On these long days, just all the energy in the chat, both on YouTube and Twitch, bro, has been absolutely nuts, man. So just thank you guys all so much for all the love and support, man. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll catch you guys in the next one, man. Take care, brush your hair, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Another episode of The Flank, man. Take it easy.
Peace.